Hey, Roaring! Hey, Roaring! Jeg har en turf and in Tom's penis. Garbage! 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 Garbage!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. It is the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. I am your host for today's show, Kristian Harloff, and it is a very special show here today for an array of different reasons. Kate Mulligan is running a little behind because Skynet took over her computer today, but she'll be in momentarily. We're looking forward to it. Brett Sheridan, he is here. Hello, Brett. How are you? Nice to see you. RB3, the great, is here. Ben Goddard joining us, and we are excited. I think on SEN Live this might be true. I know that he's definitely been in studio before. I don't know if it was backstage, but I think for SEN Live this might be his debut. He'll tell me if I'm wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the table today, he is the reigning four-time Movie Trivia Schmoedown singles champion and the current Movie Trivia Schmoedown teams champion. Some say the greatest of all time. I put my name in that hat also to say he is the greatest of all time. He is Dangerous Dan Murrell. Hello, Dan. What's up?
Oh, I thought you said you were putting your name in the hat to be the greatest.
No, hell no. I will definitely say that when. Thank you. When you and I played, I have no problem with saying that was a fluke. I have absolutely no problem saying that was a fluke. And those questions was, who was the craft services guy on Mad Max?
That was the worst title match of all time.
It was no, it was the second worst. When I won the title, it was the second worst. When I lost the title, it was the first worst. So I had no business playing. And I'm glad that I am retired. Well, he is not retired. He's a massive match this Friday coming up against big-time Ethan Irwin, who is the president of Joe Silver's production company. He is a beast. He is one of only two people to ever TKO Dan Murrell, and Dan Murrell took the title away from him in New York in last season. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit for sure. But we have a lot of other things to talk about today because there's a lot of stories. And Ben Goddard, let's get into it, man. What's this story about Spider-Man 3? We have another home inside of the title. Is this true, false, none of the above?
So it seems like a little bit of a rumor, but what else do we got to do right now?
Yeah.
Up until this point, Sony and Marvel have followed a pattern with the title of the Spider-Man movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, and the third apparently will be titled Spider-Man Homesick. On one hand, it's entirely possible that this innocent mistake or a catchy placeholder title, but Murphy points out this would not be the first Marvel MCU movie that's had its title leaked. Endgame also had its title leaked, adding fuel to the fire. Reports that set construction and prep work for the film has already begun in Atlanta, where it is also being referred as Homesick. If this report is accurate, then that's a lot of smoke. So, do you guys like the title Spider-Man Homesick, or do you think it's one of those working titles that they're using on set to specifically throw us off?
Let's start with Dan here. Dan, what do you think?
It's Marvel runs a fairly tight ship, and it seems like when there's a leak, they either mean for it to leak. There have been very few actual leaks, other than like Lego sets and stuff, which are that's marketing. So I'm a little wary. I'm a little suspicious of it. It just seems too casual, but you never know. It does follow my trend of the previous two Spider-Man films. If this is the title, hearing the title and going, okay,
yeah,
I like the movies a lot better.
Right, and that's also the part of it. Like when you look at Far From Home, when that's first announced, you're like, well, why was he? I guess he's not going to be in New York. And then you understand what the movie's about. And okay, it fits for what the movie is. Is it a great title? No, but it fits. So it could be the same thing. Remember, this is a spoiler for whoever didn't see the last movie. So if you didn't see it, tough shit. This is at the very end of the movie, he's on the run, and he's gone, and he's a kind of a fugitive. So maybe he is homesick. He can't go back to New York, or maybe if he does go back to New York, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going home. So if we're just saying, no, he's not going to be in New York again, this stinks. It might be true. He might not be back in New York, but he might also be in New York but can't go home and can't visit his Aunt May or any of that stuff because he's on the run. But Goddard, you hear this potential thing. What do you think?
I think I'm kind of with Dan. Like I've been kind of meh on the titles. But Homesick would fit, like you said, at the end. He gets outed. And if he can't go back to New York, if he's got fake what's that guy's name? Jones?
Oh, Jameson?
Yeah, if he's got J. Jonah Alec Jones Jameson on his tail, then that'd be a fun angle, and I hope that God, J.K. Simmons, sorry, my internet's messing up again. I'm thrown off. J.K. Simmons is on his tail again, but I thought Far From Home was okay. It did have the best sequence. That Mysterio sequence where he's messing with him is one of the best comic book scenes ever. The movie as a whole was okay. But I Homesick would fit. I'd be surprised if this was real, though. I would be surprised because, like Dan said, Marvel runs a tight ship over there, and usually outside of their toy leaks, their leaks are like, here, take this, get out of our way, just take this for now, and run this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on, I will say this: joining us on the show, she is the manager of the Den. Ladies and gentlemen, Skynet has been overtaken because she is the Sarah Connor today. She is Kay Mulligan. What's up, Mulligan?
Hi, guys.
First show you've ever done with Dan Murrell?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I feel like slightly nervous.
Well, you are here today. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry for.
Okay, what happened?
Well, as you can see, I'm on a
Were you jamming? Is that what the two?
Yeah, just in a jam session. So,
yeah,
but the good news is the guitar's not plugged in, so that's the good news.
Would you do me a favor for being late today? At the end or some portion of the show, pick up one of those guitars and pretend you're rocking out to this.
100%.
All right, good.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, I can't wait to see that. So anyway, what really happened? I'm sorry.
Well, no, we have to solve our computer situation.
Yeah.
Because Dickie, so we're leaving tomorrow on a trip, to go see my family, and by RV, all safe. My mom has said, "Are we going to wear masks the whole time?" And I was like, "Yes, we sure are."
You sure are.
We sure are. And sorry about that, but that's how. I don't know if it's worth. It doesn't matter if it's worth it for you or not. That's what we doing.
Nice.
But anyway, but so. Also, my dad's super high risk. He's got growing cancer. Come on now. Anyway, but Dickie has a deadline for a thing. So I always use his MacBook Pro, but we also have my computer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't know. But this may be the computer I use from here on out. I'll try and get a better.
It looks good. I like
right
that.
Now I've got my son's dome light in front of me.
You're battling some of the Schmoedown competitors for some. Oh, Brett also is like the made beds. It's like Brandon
donated $20. Welcome to Senator Dangerous Dan the Go Moral. Good luck on your match with Irwin. Can we talk about the complete disrespect for Chandru yesterday on backstage? Chandru was being Chandru and he knows his strategy in the Schmoedown.
We'll get
$20. Is it possible to get Brett Sheridan as Donald Trump and Kristian as Mike Pence, and both are crying about Kamala Harris being chosen as Biden's running mate?
No. nice try, but no. It's. I'm sure.
Maybe Elmo would do it, but not Brett.
I want to see Elmo.
Come on.
You know what we might be able to see later is maybe we can get Dan. What's the Scoops McGee? Maybe Scoops McGee can make an appearance later on.
I don't. Scoops is not.
You're not allowed to do Scoops?
I don't have a lawyer right now, so I don't know if Scoops could make an appearance.
He does do a mean Mark Wahlberg. I gotta out Dan.
Does he?
He does a mean Mark Wahlberg.
Is that true?
If anybody wants to schmoebot in a Mark Wahlberg today, at least just one.
Well, just a reminder for everybody. So if you didn't know, some people did obviously because we already did it. Yesterday, by the way, I wasn't on the show, and I cannot tell you guys how I was taken aback. I was humbled in the fact that how many donations there were yesterday. That keeps the reason we're able to have the crew come back the way that we are is for the donations that you guys have been putting in, and you went above and beyond yesterday. So I cannot thank you enough. What a day it was. So thank you. It is streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown, and anything you want to. anything you want to talk about on today's show, let's do it. But let's hit on some more of these titles here, or not titles, stories. We just hit the story about the Spider-Man title. I agree with Dan. I think that if this is the title, it was because someone leaked it out and they wanted to let people know that it is Homesick. I'm also not going to say that title stinks because I don't know what the movie's about yet all the way. So it does it fit? Does it make sense?
It's about COVID. Spider-Man's homesick.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, there you go. Is that a sound effect? Who is that? A new one? RB3?
Zoolander?
Yeah, no, it's just a coffin.
Oh wow!
I got the black lung pop.
Jeez. Anyway, let's move on to the next subject here.
Kristian, have you heard the super chat Schmoebot? Because this is a different Schmoebot.
No, is it? It comes in a new voice.
It's a different voice. So if somebody wants to come in the super chat Schmoebot, like Kristian,
No, is it fun? Is it a funny one?
People were taking it back.
It's very different.
All right. Well, so I guess for people, if you didn't know, on Super Chat, the reason why they take like 33% off. So unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's just if you don't want to move over to Streamlabs and you want to do Super Chat or Schmoebot through Super Chat, you can do it. It's $30 there and $20 over at Streamlabs. But apparently, it's a different voice. All right. What's the next story here?
Okay, so we had a little bit of news a while ago about another live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series coming out. The animated series just hit Netflix and is going viral all over again. People are rediscovering it, watching it for the first time, bugging Brett and Kristian to watch it every single day, and I love it. But in an open letter to the fans, Mike DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, pardon if I got those names wrong, the creators of the animated show have decided to leave the production. Quote, when Brian and I signed on to the project in 2018, we were hired as executive producers and showrunners.
Maddie donated $20.
Uh-oh. You just shut down everything. Whatever. Gone? Just went down?
I'll try it again. I'll try replaying it real quick.
Maybe it's because I said Kyle. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All right, so let's,
I blame myself.
Finish that story? That's why.
In a joint announcement for the series, Netflix said it was committed to honoring our vision for this retelling and to supporting us on creating the series. And we expressed how excited we were for the opportunity. Unfortunately, things did not go as we hoped. End quote. So how do we feel about this, y'all? Like, that was kind of the one thing I was holding on to, because it's a hard thing to adapt anime and animation and like all that stuff, but the original creators being there.
We will get into this. There's no doubt we'll get into this. The other thing we're going to get into is how much I appreciate the Schmoebot right now. RB3 is laughing because he knows exactly why. Kyle, what are you doing?
Kyle, I love you, brother. I know exactly what Kyle's doing, but just don't do that to the show.
No, don't do that to the show. Kyle put in some, we'll say, hip-hop lyrics that I guess was happening yesterday on the show, and there's no chance that that any of those lyrics should be played on this show, or that any of the lyrics besides maybe a selected few that could read that, and most of the people on this panel cannot. So do not do that again.
I like not to this time, but Kyle, I know it's from when we're in New York. We're going outside and rapping, but you know.
No, not for the Schmoebot, because then that.
Yeah.
No, that's no, thank you. All right, as far as all right, as Schmoebot, I love you, Schmoebot. Thank you for just even the Schmoebot said fuck that.
Yeah.
Just stopped. Okay, so Avatar. Look, from what I know, this series and everything about the story itself is like tailor-made for me. Because I remember watching the shitbox movie and thinking, well, there's a lot of great, no pun intended, elements inside of this thing that I should love, but I hated the story so much and it was so stupid. The story that was told in the movie and the acting and everything else about it, that I was like, no thanks, because people have been, as Ben joked about before, been begging me to watch it.
Donated $20. Thank you, dedicated Schmoedown fan. We appreciate your courage. I have gifted you a like.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Being on a sci-fi spaceship.
It just stopped. Yeah, that's right. You're new to the show.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
Dan is on the show. He'll take an impression of Dan Murrell as Mark Wahlberg complaining about the plants from The Happening.
We'll hold that. They'll save that to the end. But Dan, that's so that gives you some motivation.
Right in my wheelhouse.
All right, perfect. So Dan will do a Mark Wahlberg complaining about the plants and happening by the end of the show for sure. So anyway, Avatar. This news really bums me out. Because I think that everybody wanted to see a live action, and the fact that the creators are working on it and that they leave the project, that's bad news. That right? I mean, that's bad news. That's not just money. Or maybe it is, but even so, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do one without them, or we're not gonna do it at all. I think I'd rather them not do it without the creators, because it's like the creators are walking away. That's bad news, right, Dan?
Yes. No. If I have to admit, first and foremost, I also am not a big Avatar aficionado. I've not seen the show. I hear it's great. I've seen the movie and it was terrible, but I don't hold that against the show. But if they were making, let's say, Star Trek: The Next Generation back in 1987, and I was the age I am now, and Gene Roddenberry had come and said like, hey, they hired me on as an executive producer for this show. And I hoped that it was going to go well, but it's really not. I would not be going into Star Trek: The Next Generation with a very rosy outlook. So, yeah, I would not take that as a good sign.
No, it's the same thing. I mean, you look at it like, if for example, if they brought in George R.R. Martin for the next Game of Thrones show, and he's like, nah, or even the first season, and he's like, nah, I left. I just can't be a part of it. You'd be like, that is not a ringing endorsement at all.
That even happened recently with the Snowpiercer show. Like that Snowpiercer show had the original creators involved for a long time. Even Bong Joon-ho, was an executive producer on it and a producer. And he left the show, and you see it in the end results. But I think for me, it's even particularly interesting because a lot of people, including myself, will consider The Last Airbender as one of the greatest shows of all time. So it's kind of upsetting to see that they want to redo it and they want to remake it, but not involve the original people. Like that's not cool.
Damn. See, that's how you say. Did you watch the entire series, RB3?
Yes. Yeah.
So you loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it, and it's brilliant storytelling. Dave Filoni was one of the originators behind it too, and the animation is fluid and it's so uniquely animated. So I don't even know what a live action version would even look like.
Greetings from Sweden. Writing in to let you know the tickets for Tenet opened for sale today for premiere on August 24th. The theater capacity is reduced to 50 people, but attending still feels risk. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a massive risk. So open for today premiere. I don't know where are you, Abe? I'm not sure. Is that in the States?
It's Sweden.
No, he said Sweden.
Sweden. Sorry. So in Sweden, I mean,
not Sweden, Illinois.
Could be Sweden, Illinois. It's true. The New York Swedens.
New York Swedes. Oh, did you hear they're not playing this year?
Yeah, but look, the idea of them going, I don't know what the cases are like in Sweden. I really don't know. I don't know what precautions and stuff. I mean, obviously, I can tell you this: it's better than anything that's happening here. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. So I don't know.
That's a safe bet. Yeah.
That's a safe bet. So
it's a low bar.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to answer that question because I don't know what the precautions are. I don't know. I mean, if you were in New Zealand, I said, yeah, go to the movie theater in your bathing suit and have a ball.
For Life donated $20. Holy fucking shitballs. Ending back last 2 days sucked. Was watching Live on Monday when internet died. Then 5 minutes later power died. Looked outside and saw black clouds of death rolling into northern Illinois. 80 miles per hour winds and 6 separate tornadoes.
2020 is pretty awesome, huh?
Right?
God.
It's like
Those storms.
I know, dude. It is an absolute disaster of a year. It is it's not everything that you think. I would not be surprised if tomorrow we woke up and alien ships were planted over the just like Independence Day. I don't go, yeah, it's on brand of what's happening in 2020. But good news, everybody. Just to let everybody know, Dan, you'll be very happy to know this. That there's.
Kyle Grandinetti donated $20. Greased lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile. Greased lightning, go. Greased lightning, go. Greased lightning, you're coasting through the heat lap trials. Greased lightning, go. Greased lightning, you are supreme. The chicks will cream for greased light.
Let me tell you something. That sequel to your first movie was a lot better.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what I was telling you, Dan and everybody would be happy to know because Dan. So when it comes to the hot new,
got a 32 donated $20. Dan, yo VIP, let's kick it. Ice baby, ice baby. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Flow like a harpooned alien nightly. This is only for Kate's new laptop.
perfect.
I love it.
This
It's
is
like
like-
slam poetry for Ice Baby.
Is that what happened? That's what happened yesterday too, huh? There's just a bunch of lyrics.
Yes.
All these years, what was his new invention, though? He never mentioned an invention after
No, he didn't. Well, I'll try to get it out here to let everybody know.
This is my first time on the
Corby
show, and I
donated
have to
$20.
say,
Dan sends free rundown on what the Paramount decree was on one of your videos. It's kind of big deal and will probably move more IP straight to streaming in my opinion. Hello to the rest of you guys also.
So, Dan, can you give us, for those not familiar what he's talking about, can you give us a breakdown? Turn
Yeah,
this off for a second, RB3, please.
on my charts show, I did a breakdown of the Paramount decrees, which I'm sure you probably talked about on this show as well. But you know, a lot of people were talking about the kind of vertical integration and the fact that it would make it legal for studios to own theater exhibition chains again, which is definitely a concern. But you know, a lot of people are saying like, yeah, but that's the worst investment you could possibly think of, especially right now, and they're going towards streaming. But what I was talking about a lot was the whole concept of block booking, which would be basically would in 2 years after the sunset period ends, which would allow studios to, if they want to, the example I used was Disney could go to a theater and say like, oh, do you want Black Widow? Well, if you want Black Widow, then you have to book, you know, Soul and everything that Fox is putting out and everything that Fox Searchlight is putting out, which for an AMC or a Regal may not be that big of a deal because they're multiplexes.
Right.
But for smaller theaters like the Vista here in LA, or, you know, independent theaters that have 1 or 2 screens, they might have to say like, well, okay, I want this huge movie, but do I lock up my screen for an entire year with everything that just this one studio is putting out? Or it could really force smaller theaters into some tough decisions. So,
Well, you know what's funny about it, because it reminds me, and you'll probably know the movie, which wouldn't surprise me, but in 1977, when they were trying to pitch Star Wars to be put in theaters, that's exactly what Fox had to do. They said, okay, if you want to show this movie, you have to also show Star Wars. And I can't remember what the other movie was, this big movie. And then it turned out, because Star Wars was so big, they started doing the opposite deal. They were like, okay, if you want Star Wars, then you're going to have to take this one also. So that it was something that theaters have done traditionally.
and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Fox was actually, they were taken to court over that. And because of the Paramount decrees, you know, they've kind of been recognized as a violation of that. So,
Interesting.
very
Yeah,
interesting.
but it's just, but when you talk about streaming too, I mean, that's also a way for streaming platforms to get into the theatrical game. I know Netflix has been buying up theaters left and right all over LA. Amazon was in discussion to buy the whole AMC theaters chain. So it's like, that would also add another wrinkle into it, because when those production studios and the tech companies are all like going hand in hand, I don't know, it could be kind of difficult too, Dan. So I could see how the Paramount decree ending could be like really, really beneficial for like the Amazons and for the streaming platforms and for the big studios like Disney, but it wouldn't be helpful for, like you said, small studios or small movies.
All right, cool. You can put the Schmoebot back on there, RB3. I know we had one if you want to play
The
it.
thing with the Schmoebot, though, like I said, this is my first time on the show.
Yeah.
It's like being on the Nostromo, but Mother just has like a
We
short
for
circuit
underscore
and just
support donated $20. Sweden has not locked down and have not had masks for people, and they have had no little or no deaths for the past month. They have been an outlier in terms of keeping society open and their cases going down. Makes sense for tenant opening.
Yeah, see, I understand.
Good for you.
Although it's funny, if I'm not mistaken though,
You are.
I think it was Sweden, but Sweden had this very different philosophy from jump. They did things differently, but they were sort of like, let the old people die. Was sort of like, I'm saying it very crassly. I believe it was Sweden, but I could be wrong. But they basically were like, you know,
Naswan Sabley donated $30. Hi guys, it's been a while. Haven't been cateching the live show for a while since I'm back working. 0 cases of COVID here for a while now. Just bringing this back. Hey Raraing Yakhar and Tool Fern Dellen and Tombs Flowers.
Yeah, Tombs Flowers. Yeah, even better.
Nice.
What he was trying to say was,
Hey, Roaring. Ik hoor in turf and in Tom's penis.
Dan, what movie is that from?
Oh boy.
You want to hear it again?
Hey, Roaring.
That's JTE.
Ik hoor in turf and in Tom's penis.
That's you got me on that one. I don't know.
Splash.
Splash. Yeah.
It's a good one. Anyway, you were saying about the Schmoebot, which I'm just just a little warning here, fair warning.
Wasn't promised only
I gotta get it out.
$20. Oh no, the fight's out. I'm about to punch yo. Lights out. Get the flowers back. Guard your grill. There's something wrong. We can't stay still. I've been drinking and busting too, and I've been thinking of busting you upside your motherfucking forehead.
What she decided to say? She decided to change fuck into flower, but said motherfucking was okay.
Mother, come on.
Just shit together.
So,
right.
Dan, did you realize you were going to diminish your brand by coming? Did he not put that in the?
No, I didn't.
Brett, I reviewed a movie with myself last week. I don't really know if there's much I can do at this point.
So, speaking of which, if you didn't already know this,
Shit, Brett.
Dangerous Dan Murrell has been obviously a voice in this community for a very long time, and he had a big voice in Screen Junkies and on his trailers, and obviously known from movie fights and Schmoedown. But he went off and he did his own thing, and he made his own YouTube channel, and it's awesome. It's really, really good, and you just should check it out. If you're not already subscribed, you should go on over to Dan Murrell, and it's just Dan Murrell, right?
Dan Murrell Movies, YouTube.
Dan Murrell Movies.
Some other guy named Dan Murrell, I assume. All
right, well, YouTube.com/Dan Murrell Movies. Go check it out, because if you're looking for breakdowns in for movies and just really good thoughts, this is not the show for you. But Dan's show is definitely the show for you.
Yeah, when Dan said, "Yeah, you guys probably talked about the Paramount decrees," all of us were like, "Oh yeah, we sure did."
RB3 going like, wait, is that the one? Is that the video where the guy's got the banana and then he's got his ass?
I just talked about it with myself in my head.
Yeah, no, Dan. I think we did a whole piece on the guy who grew a penis out of his arm because his dick fell off. That is that the same thing?
But I didn't do it. I didn't say a word about that on my show. So there you go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Take a look at your own holes in your.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate to tell you, the guy that has danmurrell.com is actually named John Roca.
Oh yeah.
He bought it up. He piss you off.
But if you're looking
All
to
the
start
sites,
a new
all the
show, I
domains.
think RB3 has one more show that somebody hasn't taken the slot on. So go ahead. And, the Wednesdays or what?
Yeah, no, every day. Yeah, by the way, we are going back to Wednesdays just for tonight. Not to step on the world, girls, because they did take our spot. But, we're just going an hour later tonight. That's all.
Awesome. Well, so anyway, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to try to say that we won't be able to, but the Schmoebot is still is the reason that we're all able to do it anyway, so no one is complaining. So all right, anything else that there's a ton of shit that was out there though.
I got to talk about this Blockbuster Airbnb. Like, this is the coolest. This is one of the few good news stories out there. The world's last Blockbuster store in Bend, Oregon has popped up on an Airbnb. The listing specifically offers only to Deschutes County residents, so no one can fly in and travel to go see this. For those who live in the county, they can sign up for one of 3 one-night stays at the video store and have full access to the entire collection of movie titles. And you know how much this costs? $4. It costs $4 for a night. So the manager said, quote, "Dust off those membership cards for a sleepover inside the world's last Blockbuster. When you call dibs on this stay, you're booking a night back in the 90s, but this time you won't have to beg your parents to rent the latest horror flicks." Yeah, horror flicks.
Yeah.
End quote. But that would be an amazing catch, that you still have your Blockbuster card to
God.
Without it, it's $500 a night, but with your Blockbuster card, it's $4. Would you guys, I mean, obviously in normal times, normal setting, would you guys travel to go stay in a Blockbuster, like the last Blockbuster, for one night?
100%.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Is this the same one that is doing the tweets as the Last Blockbuster, or is that a separate thing? Because there is a Twitter account called the Last Blockbuster.
Oh, wow. RB3 just
think you were
flexing
old
on all
enough.
us.
Nah, I'm still holding on to my old Blockbuster card. I would see if I
God.
if I were out there, I'd go to the store to that spot immediately and get that Airbnb. So.
Make it a Blockbuster night.
Yeah. By the way, I will say that comment by Andrew Guy, it was spelled Andrew Guy. I believe that could actually be the official Andrew Guy. He says, "Thank you, dedicated Schmoedown fan. We appreciate your courage. I have gifted you a like." And because there's a post he made, a very strange post in the Facebook group. Andrew, if you saw his interview last time we talked, he had kind of lost it a little bit, but he's got this big match coming up against Bateman. So I don't really know. He's screaming about the Schmoeminati and other things. I don't know. He says, I will be competing in the movie trivia Schmoedown soon. This is very important for my faction. I hope to perform to the audience's expectation, and I am very excited. That sounds a little off for the Andrew Guy I know, but he posted 32 minutes ago, and there's already 100 comments, 98 comments. So yeah, he's I don't know what he's doing. But
the audience expects you to lose to Bateman, so good for you that you're going to perform to their expectations.
We'll see what he's going to do. I don't know. He's kind of.
I can speak a little bit to this. He can trust me. He can perform up to the audience's expectations. He can surpass them. In fact, very easily.
As you would say, and I thought you said it brilliantly on backstage yesterday, Dan. And that's when you were comparing kind of the Chandru match to the Guy match. And it's like when everyone expects you to win.
Randy Netty donated $20. 369 stand real fine, move it to you, suck it to me one more time, get low, get low, get low, get low, to the window, to the wall, to the sweat, drop down my balls, to all you bitches, crawl to all ski mother pucker, all ski goddamn ski.
I was thinking the same thing, but before I was thinking that is that when it comes down to it, is that when you're expected to win, and the other person essentially has nothing to lose, and you're supposed to lose, that's when the other person is the most again, no pun intended, dangerous. So it's like I agree. I think Andrew Guy absolutely could win that match, but it's something else going on with him, and I think that post alone said it. He's something going on with him. But that match goes down on the 28th, August 28th, and it is the co-main event for Jericho and Smith. Dan, you've worked with Kevin Smith before in the past, and we know his mind when it comes to movies. We don't know enough about Jericho when it comes to movies, but do you think, I guess this is the same kind of question or same thing, is Kevin Smith a shoo-in to win this one?
No, I wouldn't say he's a shoo-in to win. I mean, obviously, he has a great wealth of movie knowledge. Now, will he have 5 minutes to answer every question?
No, he will not. 15 seconds.
Well, okay, then that could be a bit of a setback. No, I mean, he's got a lifelong film lover's base knowledge for movies. So, Jericho is obviously the X factor here. I don't know.
Big Mo donated $20. Hey Varine, I see it's going to be another sing-along kind of day. LOL. Brett is out here sniping today. Also, backstage was pretty sassy yesterday, especially between Tandrup and Goddard.
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to get into that. I'm going to ask Goddard his thoughts. He didn't get enough. I don't think he had enough time to really respond yesterday. But Dan, go ahead. So you're saying?
We just don't know with Jericho. We don't really have a whole lot of tape. I don't remember him getting into the ring and throwing out movie trivia too much in his career. So, right. Who knows? There could be a surprise there. But, as far as movie knowledge, Kevin Smith got one of the biggest Rolodexes out there. I can say from experience. I don't think he ever beat me on movie fights. I don't think I ever was able to beat him on movie fights. He comes to play.
Well, that match goes down on the 28th, and like I said, co-main event, Bateman versus Guy, and you'll be able to watch it on this channel. It goes down. It's going to be on the 28th. It'll air and it'll premiere for you guys to be able to watch along. But remember also that, and we'll get into more of the specifics in just a little bit. This Friday, we're going to have Shazam, which is William Bibiani and the Kid, Brendan Meyer, going up against Final Exam, Paul Oyama and Lon Harris. Lon Harris and Paul Oyama 3-0. Winning 3 matches back to back, and drip. Yep, that's right. Swag once again, and then in the main event, it's the third time they're going at it, and it's Ethan Irwin, the challenger, going up against Dangerous Dan Murrell for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship of the World. That goes down this Friday, and you can get the tickets if you're not a patron. You want to go and
420 donated $20. If you don't,
did he do it? Oh, did it cut out again? The Schmoedown, anyway, it's the Schmoedownlive.com, and you can get streamlabs.com slash, patreon.com/Schmoedown, and you can get tickets today. All right, so let's turn the Schmobot off for a second, because I also want to let you guys know that it's time for all of you. It's the summer bod. Whatever you're doing, if you're in Sweden, definitely, I'll tell you that. But if you want to unveil that summer bod after you're done seeing Tenet in Sweden, well, Manscaped is here to ensure that your post-quarantine body, whenever we get to that, it's ready for the wild. Don't be the guy at the beach with a bear rug on your chest. And if you grew some quarantine man tits, last thing you can do is you want to make sure that they're hairless. You don't want to. I'm telling you, I woke up one day, and this is a while ago, and I said, I don't like the way that looks, and never again. Doesn't happen anymore because I have Manscaped. It's dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. They've changed the game, which I love, is that the Perfect Package 3.0. It comes with an essential lawnmower 3.0, waterproof cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your manscaping routine. It's the best trimmer on the market for those of you who in need of a chest shave. The third generation trimmer features skin-safe technology to reduce the manscaping accidents. Don't give yourself an accidental nipple piercing. No one needs that. Subscribe to the Perfect Package and get a new blade refill for your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months. For a limited time, subscribers get 2 free gifts, which is awesome. The Shed travel bag, which is around a $40 value add, and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxer briefs. 20% off and free shipping, which is massive, with the code SEN20 at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. You get 20% off and free shipping with the code SEN20 at manscaped.com. One more time, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. But don't forget, you have to use that code SEN20. Trim your chesticles with the besticles. It's the best. It really is. You got to go, and everybody, that's the one that out of all of the people that we've ever worked with in the past, and I'm talking schmoes nowadays, I've heard the most positive feedback with everything that you guys have been getting with Manscaped. People love it. People love it. So go ahead, and the link is in the description here today. All right, moving on to the next story here, Ben.
Dwayne Johnson is officially the
School
highest.
420 donated $20. If you don't like what you see here, get the funk out. We want try to force feed you. Bada bada bang bong diggy 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 said the boogie, set up jump the boogie bada bang da dong diggy diggy diggy.
I probably agree with that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Hotel.
Hot take. The Rock is the highest paid actor for the second year in a row. 87.5 million wide away.
Hey everyone, what would Vintage Dan think about spending one night in Blockbuster?
What would Vintage Dan think about spending one night in Blockbuster?
Vintage Dan, I did the Seth Rogen American Pickle.
Oh, yourself.
Big Mo donated
I did.
$20.
Yeah, I did want to just.
Where the hood at? Have that dude in the cup in the wood out. Oh, them dudes acting up. Where the wolves at? You better bust that if you gotta pull that. Hey Kyle, that's how you do it. LOL.
All right, so what would Vintage Dan think about spending one night in Blockbuster?
I think he'd be confused. He was very modern Dan would be much more excited. Although I did get an invite to stay to Redbox Airbnb. It's great as long as you don't mind sleeping standing up. It's fine. But yeah, no.
I like that bit.
That was a good joke. I like that.
Yeah. I screwed up the delivery. That's all right. It's my
Not
first
at
date.
all. You
First
slid
day
it
at
in. I was like, oh, he's serious. No, I get it now.
All right, so The Rock being paid the highest paid actor. I mean, who does this surprise? Nobody.
The only thing that surprises me is how much Netflix is paying out for their movies. So he got paid 87.5 this year. 23.5 was from one movie, Red Notice, from Netflix. Ryan Reynolds is number 2 with 71, and he got paid $20 million for 6 Underground. So Netflix is paying some big bucks for these A-list stars.
Yeah, you know what they're also paying for? And Dan, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is what I would assume. Both Ryan Reynolds and more specifically The Rock are marketing machines. Their social medias, everything that they do. If you are paying them, you're not just, you better bet your ass that you're not just paying them to be in the movie. Inside of those contracts are most likely the guarantee that they have to post a certain amount of times or have to do something in order to promote the actual event itself. Would you agree with that? Not the event, the movie itself. Dan, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised these guys are 1 and 2. We had experience working with both of them at Screen Junkies, and our experience walking away from it was that they get it. They get what it's like. They get what it is to promote a movie, and they understand that, like, it's not just about selling the movie and doing a junket. It's about doing things like, we got the whole rock wedding thing, and all this stuff is largely done. Again, the same thing with both of them outside of working with the studio. These were like personal things. Like we did the Deadpool trailer with Ryan Reynolds, and he like that was just a direct connect through him. Didn't go through the studio. We sent him a cut. He said, I could do that better. He had a guy like in London that would re-record it in a car. He just like took a break from another movie that he was filming to go redo it. Like he sent back jokes. We'd send him ideas. We worked with him a couple of times. We'd send him ideas and he'd be like, oh, that's good, but that's really simple. Hey, here's a really much more complicated idea that I want to do. Like they get it. And I think that's why you pay 2 guys like that, because that they're not just going to shoot the movie and then do the junket. Like they are going to bust their ass to promote that movie, to do stuff that people are going to pay attention to get the name of the movie out there. And that's incredibly valuable. It's very valuable thing to have.
Agreed. And that's probably why they made as much, but it's also, there is just something about The Rock. I mean, he is the biggest movie star, which is crazy when you think about. It's crazy and it's not crazy. You think the chemistry and the reason why. But I was watching this video that someone posted in the SEN Live Facebook group, and I don't know if anybody saw this. There was this one guy. They're in the middle of the store, and he's got to be drunk, and he doesn't have a mask on, so they're grabbing him, and then they put audio of old school WWF, and it's like The Rock's music pumps in here, and here comes this guy he's got to also be drunk, but he's got his shirt off, and it's like. Here comes The Rock, and he's like running back there, and it's this old school music. But it just reminded me of how impactful and how charismatic The Rock was when that music would hit, and he would come out, and he just did something. And Jericho was recently talking about The Rock and how he just was there was something about him and the way that he took over that mic and why he became the big star that he was. And it's his work ethic, and it's everything else, and people want to work with him, and it's like you feel that there has to be 80 of him because no one can work the way that he does. You feel like he's either just bought a new a football team, or he's got a new HBO show, or he's got a new reality show. And it's not like one of these things where they're all watered down piss shows. They're high quality stuff. Sometimes he does some stuff and it's misses, but it doesn't seem to be hurting him. He does other things that are big hits and other things that he's producing, and you understand why he's as big as he is. RB3, would you agree with that assessment, or should I just go away?
No, I actually 100% agree. I think it's the way you carry yourself, right? It's the way, the attitude you present. He's always had like that kind of boss baller mentality where he's always, and people say, his work ethic's off the chain. He when he had that whole feud with Vin Diesel, apparently it was because Vin Diesel wasn't living up to his work ethic, right? So it makes sense that he gets paid that much. Now, is it necessarily worth it? I mean, I think for Netflix, it's definitely worth the money. Like, if they have, they spend hundreds of millions, if not billions, on content per year. So it makes sense that they would cut a huge check to The Rock because that's the biggest star they got. Same way Disney cuts as many checks to The Rock as they can with Moana and Jungle Cruise. Yeah. And so it's good to just have those relationships, good to have that under the balance. And The Rock is the master of maintaining relationships. He can have an HBO show, a show on NBC, a Netflix show, 3 movies in theaters, and he could do all of that. So there's no question where the money's coming, and he's putting it to good use. He just bought the XFL, so that's really good stuff. So.
Yeah,
but can he be on a live show 5 days a week for over a year and maintain 7,500 followers the whole time?
Can I get Evil Mickey telling Michael B he will not be in Star Wars?
Who's Evil Mickey?
Evil Mickey.
Did they
Dan? Is that Dan?
That's not me. that I know of.
Evil Mickey. Who's
Yes, I know everybody's been calling Dan Evil Mickey.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the movie trivia Schmoedown, champion of the world, Evil Mickey. I don't know who Evil Mickey is.
Something like that, right?
Wow. Matt Link is gonna have a holiday with that.
And then he goes.
Yeah. Does anybody else like Bloodshot? Because I did.
You did? Oh no!
I don't think it's a good movie, but
The king of segways, Kristian Harloff.
You know what? Fuckface. We were talking about that before Mickey came in. So suck a ball bag and talk about it on the evening news afterwards. That movie, I saw it last night. It's on Prime or something, right? And it's not a good movie. It's not. But I remember seeing it was the last screening that I saw in the theater before everything shut down. I remember saying I wanted to hate this. I thought I was going to hate this movie, and I'm enjoying watching it. I think that I'm the only person in the world to say that. Is that accurate?
Yes. Kristian, I do have to ask you, besides like an actual criticism of the movie, do you think that they had a limited access to Vin Diesel? Like, because it felt like he wasn't in half the movie.
No, I thought he was in it enough.
Because like the whole second action scene is like, through the thermal binoculars, so that's not him. And then the last fight is like all CGI him.
Let's get this on. We are going to have a giant celebration blessed with tons of schlong power. In another world, me and Daddy Brett would be eating lemon pepper wings right now in the strip club as we make it rain. Don't worry, I wouldn't tell the wife.
Oh, today's Soggy's birthday.
His birthday. I know. I was actually going to ask.
That's good.
It's his 21st birthday.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. That is.
And
really
I don't hide going to strip clubs to my wife.
Yeah. So, hey, Soggy, if you want to come to First Cut Live tonight, brother, we'll have a birthday party for you. So
there you go. Good plug. So I think that's everything as far as what's next.
We've talked about Tenet a lot, about being delayed, and you know what else is holding strong? New Mutants. It is for sure opening on August 28th. Where it's opening, no one can say. Okay. It's unclear where the film will be able to play, as less than a quarter of the country's 6,000 venues have reopened, according to CornScore. Movie theaters in New York City and LA remain closed. Disney has done fairly minimal promotion for this film and recently announced Mulan is skipping U.S. theaters and premiering on Disney+. While even Tenet is staggering its rollout. And Unhinged will be the first film from any distributor to hit cinemas August 21st. So do you guys think that there's like a guaranteed theater clause in the New Mutants contract that even if it releases in one theater in Boise, Idaho for a day, then we can put it on Hulu or Disney Plus right away?
I guess. Yeah, because this is you're asking for failure if you're trying to make money off of this movie in the movie theater. You're asking for failure. This movie's been pushed back. It feels now for like 30 years. It's like, is anyone rushing to see the Tenet stuff? I get Mulan. I get. Is anyone rushing out to the theater to see New Mutants? Like, even if there was no pandemic at this point, you would. Yeah, go ahead, RB3.
No, I'm rushing out. I'm excited for this movie. I think it's gonna be great. I think an X-Men horror movie is exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm excited to see it.
The premise of it, sure. When it was first announced, I was very excited for it. It's just there just seems to be a lot. I mean, there's just a lot of issues with this movie over the year. Dan, you were gonna say?
No, I was saying I run a thing, and I have been now across 2 jobs and 2 different YouTube channels.
How you doing now? You know. Can we get Arnold trying to convince Russian Ben to star in the sequel of Last Action Hero with indignant white man chiming in?
Yes, Dan. Ben, put that down. Also, sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
I run this thing called the Countdown to New Mutants with the question mark, and part of it is that I keep track of how long it's not only how long until it comes out, which we are now 16 days away, shockingly, supposedly, allegedly, but I keep track of how many days it's been since it was supposed to come out, and I have 4. We are 862 days away from the original release date.
How many days?
862 days. 537 days since the second one. 376 days since the third one. 131 days since the fourth one, and now we're 16 days away from
The new
what's alleged to be the new release.
That's my point. It's like you can turn it into a fucking segment on your show. It's it's a bit at this point. It's a bit.
That's like, and there has to be some kind of clause with this thing because I feel like this would do really good on VOD. Like I feel like it would do pretty well on VOD because just out of pure curiosity, people would rent this. But with the theaters, I don't know why, but there has to be something in like the contract or something like that because it's not a good move.
No, I mean, look, RB3, when it comes to the actual movie itself, it sounded when it was first announced, the horror movie, the X-Men. I remember on like Movie Talk. That shows you how long ago when this thing was announced. Like I was on Movie Talk, and it was like, we're really. I remember saying, yeah, this sounds really cool. I mean, it's got Maisie Williams in it. I'm excited for it. Even Maisie Williams at one point said, I don't know when that movie's coming out. I remember when they interviewed her, and that was like 2 years ago when they asked her about it. So it's a goof. But
it might be a strategy too because you even see Fox now. They're even advertising like, oh, like the Comic-Con at home, we're the highest streamed panel at Comic-Con at home. Like we were, like they in their eyes, like we're the highest viewed trailer to come out of Comic-Con this year, even though Comic-Con was all virtual. But they're saying things like this to kind of show you, like, all right, like here's us maybe trying to figure out a way that we can market this to people. And,
remember, but there's a difference though. I think that by them doing that with the trailer itself, let me say that I will absolutely, if not the day of or day after, we'll be watching this movie if it streams. There's no doubt about it. And that is what they're marketing to, as they should be. I'm telling you that I just don't think people are going to slop down like a lot of money for this movie in the theater if there was no pandemic, or even if in places where theaters are open, because of the risk of how good is it that it's been pushed back for like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I get that too, but I do trust the director, Josh Boone, and I think if it comes out and has great reviews and people are really excited about it, I think it's gonna make some money. So, but I think if anything, they should try and capitalize off of drive-ins, and they should try and capitalize off any other kind of theatrical experience, like in a place like Milwaukee or places that are not that bad that they can open theaters. Maybe open it there. And maybe it's some HBO thing that's holding it up. I don't know, but maybe that will lead it to getting on Disney Plus eventually.
All right, so look, we're going to move over now to your questions. Streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. Ben Goddard's going to read out any questions that you guys had. If you have anything for Dan, obviously let it go.
Ryan donated $20. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Nice that you have the go on today. They can't put it New Mutants on Disney Plus. They have to put it on HBO Max because of deals first. So maybe Disney is like, yes, we'll take the loss on VO just so we could eventually get it back.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's the whole thing is just, it's messy. The whole thing's messy.
Nazwan Sably donated $20. Okay. Movie question. Any film recommendations that you consider a 9/10 or above but not a lot of people have watched? My pick is a German film called Victoria. It is shot in one continuous take, no magic edits.
So the question is any film recommendations that you consider 9 out of 10 or above, but not a lot of people have watched. I think Dredd would count on that. I think that, for a lot of the movie audience that's seen Dredd, they love it, and I don't think enough people have seen that movie. I think it's a really good movie. You got any that's a 9 out of 10? You want to think about it?
I got one. There's this one film that came out in 2001 that is a Hungarian film called the Wackmasters Harmony. I'm totally mispronouncing that. But the whole concept is that it is a film that is, I believe, 20 or 21 shots that are all 11-minute takes a piece. So it's like 11-minute take here, then another 11-minute take, then another 11-minute take, and another 11-minute take. And it simulates like this kind of floaty, dreamy atmosphere, which really fits like the plot. That's about the circus and like this kind of mysterious, invasion thing. So I'd highly recommend checking it out if you're into like some weird experimental cinema. That can teach you a lot about storytelling as well.
Agreed. All right. So let's get to.
I didn't mean to take up if anybody else had anything.
Daddy's Home. That was
Daddy's Home. Dan, did you have one?
I always go back to this movie called Ace in the Hole, which is back from I think it was like 50 or 51. It stars Kirk Douglas. It's really, really good movie, and it's about basically there's this person that's trapped in a mine, and there's this like desperate reporter who goes to like cover the story, and then it becomes this huge media circus, and then they got to start fabricating stuff, and it's completely irrelevant to modern times, definitely. But it's even with even inside like the whole Billy Wilder, Kirk Douglas like filmography, it's one of the lesser heralded ones, and it's a really, really, really good movie. So that'd be one that
just gonna real quick take a note. Don't put ace in the hole on the wheel when playing.
That's right. Isn't that funny though, Dan? That people like you definitely have people that are doing that, because didn't you say at one point like you were someone revealed their cards to you, right? Because you were what was it? There was like a list that you were checking out for movies, and a competitor came up to you and said, "Hey, I've been paying attention to everything you've been watching."
This competitor put themselves at a competitive disadvantage. Yes, it's Letterboxd. I used to log everything that I watched on Letterboxd in real time, and I had to stop doing that because I was told that I was being watched.
Soggy Minimuffins donated $100. Thank you, everybody. I will be there. Shout out to everyone for always embracing Soggy. It means a lot. As I sit here on my private jet, I have some big news to break. After today, I will be retiring the term schlong. It is time to reinvent the Schmoebot.
Wow.
Well, thank you. Soggy, thank you. Big news. Yeah, Dan, sorry. So you had to stop doing that.
I had to stop doing it because I was told, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was before we ever had a concept of playing each other. But I believe that Chance and Paul Oyama were working together to gather intelligence, but they told me they were doing it, and so I stopped. So yeah, I have to stop logging what I watch in real time on Letterboxd because Schmoedown competitors, are
watching everything
for intel, and they would see what I was watching. So yeah, now I have an off the books list for Letterboxd that I have to keep sometimes from one at a time because I can't reveal what I've been watching.
You need to put a decoy list up and just be like, I watched Daddy's Home, and I watched.
I know you put the shittiest movies to make people watch the shittiest movies.
Maybe I already did.
That's true. That's true. All right, listen. So we're going to get into your question in just a moment here. And I do have to ask Goddard. So, Goddard, yesterday on Backstage, I was watching, and Chandru the Chosen, who, for those of you who didn't watch, just spoiler here coming up for Friday's match, just to let you know, Chandru the Chosen was on Backstage yesterday, and he had been listening to your comments that you made about him the other day, and he went after you. Any words for Chandru?
I stand by what I said. And yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy the belt. You earned it, but I've never seen a more insecure champion in my life.
Wow. Shots fired at this new feud happening between Goddard.
Shots from the sideline. Shots from the sideline, for sure.
Swag. Look at the swag.
Well, that's the thing. Like, why are you coming after me? I've played 2 IG matches. Like, worry about the top. I'm not there right now. I know that.
Well, it's a good. So, but Goddard makes a good point. Goddard makes a good point that is the champion, or is Chandru right now? Is he too worried about everything going on? But what I will say, and I posted this in the Facebook group, Chandru's doing it right. Chandru's doing it right. As much as you can say anything you want to say about his gameplay or the way that he maybe is carrying himself, I haven't seen this kind of heat on a competitor since Andrew Guy and Ben Bateman entered the league. He is doing it right. He is playing right. He is getting into the psyche of other competitors, and he's playing along. He's playing along to it, and he's got a faction in Swag that supports him. And I don't know. There's something about this kid. I think that he is an absolute star. He really is. He's a star. I don't care if you think about you like what he's doing or not, because the bottom line is he's winning, and he doesn't give a shit if you like the way he's doing stuff.
Chandru, I just might block you in the chat. I'm allowed
don't
to do that.
You're not allowed to do that. Don't block.
I was gonna say we're talking about insecurity here.
Don't block Chandru. All right. So anyway, let's get to these questions here, because I do want to talk to Dan about his upcoming match against Ethan this Friday. What do you got?
Bottom feeder for Kate. Kate, I love your Schmoedown character, and your resting Chicago face especially cracks me up. Who was your inspiration for that? Because it kind of looks like you're taking a painful shit.
She makes that. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I feel like I'm drawing off a lot of people I'm related to. I'll put it that way. And just also just people that like, I don't know, like there's still like, I follow some high school friends, and that accent, man, I know there was somebody who once, like the most validating thing I ever heard was that somebody was like, I hated her accent. I didn't think there was any, like, I'm in Chicago. I forget who it was. They're like, I'm in Chicago. Nobody sounds like that. And then I swear to God, I was walking behind her talking on the phone the other day. And I was like, see, that accent does exist.
Yeah, it's true. Frank Janish has a big problem with
I know.
I've heard
Frank
people.
Janish has the accent. He can't hear it because he's inside it. It's like he has it.
It's true. My wife stopped dead in her tracks one time. I was listening to Rundown in my kitchen. She stopped. She goes, "Where's that guy from? Chicago?"
Sadie. Sadie.
Absolutely. Anyway, I was trying to tell this story. It's my last attempt to try to do it. But Dan, I have really good news for you. And I know you'll be happy about this. I'm always trying to find the newest, hippest movies out there that are coming out. So I finally am happy to announce that my wife and I did finish The Natural with Robert Redford the other day. We then finished up with While You Were Sleeping. We finished that movie, and we browsed around some new fresh titles, and we came up with what's the word? Oh yes, Nothing. So as we were browsing around and watching, what else did we? I wished that all of you were sitting in my living room watching what I went through last night on the because it happens every fucking night. We sit there and it's like, all right, what'd you pick for us? I'm like, don't you do that to me. It's like you go through the movies that you want, and then I'll suggest about 75, and then you can tell me how all of them, those same movies I've suggested a million times over before, and that none of them, it's like we're going through it, and yes, am I guilty of saying The Running Man? Am I guilty of saying Bill and Ted? Inception,
The Crow,
Farted, not The Crow yet, but am I guilty of doing that every single time? Yes, but I don't know what Rosamund Pike popped up yesterday in a movie that she was going to watch. I said, just put the fucking thing on. Just put it on. And it's like, I don't know if I want to get into that now. I'm like, this is the same conversation we're having. It's like, what do you want for dinner tonight? It's the same conversation. It's like, I don't care. What do you want? Oh, well, why am I always the one coming up with the idea? Because anytime I come up with the idea, it gets shot down like a bad fucking movie pitch. It's like it just doesn't. Nothing works. So
she spends $20 on Katie Holmes and Josh Duhamel.
you have no idea how infuriating that is. It's just like, okay, and then all these other movies. So, well, the kind of movies I'm like, yeah, I know. So just put on some fart fest, whatever Lifetime movie, and let's be done with it. So anyway, this is my couples therapy. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, we just finished. I'm telling you, we stayed up so late 2 nights in a row to do it. Love on the Spectrum, that TV show. And let me tell you, it's a show about autistic people on the spectrum, dating, learning how to date, and going. It's the most beautiful show. Dickie's like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. And I've repeatedly texted Brett, you cannot watch this show. You cannot. Brett would be so dehydrated. It's like the most. I'm telling you, there is nobody could watch the show and think anything bad about it. It's the most lovely. It's so good, but Brett is not a candidate for it. He's too emotional.
Kristian, I don't think that person in the chat was saying anything mean. Someone called bottom feeder means like it's a sex thing. It's not like an insult.
No, it's from that new Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion song.
Yeah. It's a song lyric.
Also, it's if you're kosher, you can't eat the bottom feeders, the shrimp.
Wow.
That's why you can't, because they're the bottom feeders.
But have you heard the song, Kate? Have you heard?
No.
They're talking about a different bottom.
I know. I'm just saying. Also, this person may be kosher. Bottom feeder may be kosher.
Yeah, I've officially become my dad. What?
Yes, no, I'm with you. All right, moving on to the next really nice name, Brett Smooth Chain.
Punch Fart Box donated $20. Sir Lois and Moral, would you be interested in a match? You and Mara versus Sam and Rachel? Also, not to stir up any controversy, but is there one competitor that you always wanted to team up with? Love you, Kate. Can we get Elmo telling Burke his mask theory?
Oh, that's
Soggy
good.
Mini Muffins donated $100.
Jeez,
So
Soggy.
please send your schlongs in one last time and let's have some fun. And don't even think of using it after today, people, or you will be hearing from my lawyer. Just
Soggy. I'm crushing there, Soggy. Thank you, Soggy.
Soggy Mini Muffins donated $100.
Jeez, Soggy.
Please send your
My bad. That was a replay.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Zach, your mom's gonna be so mad when she sees this credit card.
She walks in. She's like, wait. What's? First of all, what is SEN and why is it $20,000? All right. So the question is, and would you be interested in a match, you and Mara versus Sam and Rachel? That's part one. Part two is not to stir up controversy, but is there any one competitor that you always wanted to team up with? So let's start with the Mara conversation. In an exhibition match at a live event in front of let's say 1,000 people, would you and Mara be interested in a match against Sam and Rachel?
I mean, I won't speak for Mara, but I will say that we love Sam and Rachel. We've become friends with them. Strangely, it's weird how being isolated can lead you to become better friends with people, but that's been the case with many of our friends. And so, if they were, I think our big stipulation would be like we want it to be hyped up as like any kind of goat match or any. It's like we would do it. I think we would do it for fun.
That'd be a fun one to watch, though.
Just to have a good time. Don't put any pressure on it. Just like it has to decide anything. But I think we talk about doing it just to have a good time, mix up the rules, put crazy stuff on the wheel, just have a good time. I think that, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
That could be a
Follow-up
fun
question.
Uh-huh.
Would you do an exhibition
Still
match
Mash
against
donated
Sabrina
$20.
Ramirez and Brandon
Hearing
Hanna?
the push want to bring back Happy made me think of a show named Comrade Detective. It was a satire on imported cop dramas and used foreign actors dubbed over with actors like Channing Tatum and JGL. What show do you think should have a second chance?
Happy for sure. Yeah.
You still haven't finished it.
I know, but I told you why. It's not because I'm not interested. It's because I know that it's over once I do. I'm hoping that I have a chance to. By the time I watch season 2, they announce that season 3 is coming back. Dan, have you ever watched any of Happy?
I've not. No, I've heard of it, but I've not watched it.
It's really good. But second part of that question, Dan. So let's say John Roca retires tomorrow, and there are any competitor that has ever played in Schmoedown in the past or present, anyone that you'd want to team up with?
Oh wow! I mean, that is such a.
I've just got just a few like Ben Goddard or Paul Preston or Tom, like any of them.
Not me.
I mean, obviously, if I was in the IG division full time, then I think Mara and I would make a great team. If we're talking singles or teams, I mean, the Crusher, obviously, yeah. I think we'd make a very good team.
That team, can you imagine Rachel Cushing and Dan Murrell as a team? Holy shit.
If you want to go for more like wacky team dynamics, can you imagine me on a team with Makuga?
That would be great.
Yes. We wouldn't be in it for the wins, but we'd be in it for the fun.
I'd actually love to see that team, because I think that would be because we obviously know. I mean, being friends with you for years, like I know how much of a fun side there is also, and a lot of people see because you've been on top for so long. And you've been in these intense matches that you don't get a lot of time to showcase that fun side, right? And I think the Makuga would definitely bring that in. And when I saw that was when you started doing more of the scenes, because they did. Frank Janisch, by the way, who's done a masterful job. This Schmoedown Clips channel is just great. It really is. Schmoedown Clips. If you go to Schmoedown Clips, and they just put up the scene where it's Dan had just won the championship from Ethan, and there's this great scene where he's standing there, and Roca comes up to him, congratulates him. Then Riley comes in, and then Riley makes a pitch for the fifth horseman, and it's Ben Bateman. And Roca's just like, "Are you out of your mind?" And he walks out, and Dan looks at him and goes, "It's a tough sell. I'll talk to him." And he walks out. It's a great scene. You guys should check it out. It's on the Schmoedown Clips. Subscribe today, and as soon as we get to 10,000 subscribers on that channel, I'm going to release the Roca doc. So go ahead and check it out. All right, what's next, Ben?
We're still on Brett's smooth taint, thank God. I guess I should have asked yesterday, since it was mostly a music episode, but since you are A Nebraska kid, Brett, are you a 311 fan? And did you get to see them before they blew up? If you're a fan of which of theirs is your favorite album?
I actually was not a fan of 311. I'm sorry. I apologize. I think I was the only person in Nebraska who didn't like 311, but I knew people that like opened for them, their bands and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. It just they were okay, but it wasn't my jam necessarily.
I never would have guessed they were from Nebraska. I thought they were for sure a California band.
Yeah.
Treadmill Nug. I miss you guys. Molotov Shrimp Cocktail. This is a 3-part message. So give me a second.
Yes.
What?
He was answering. He was answering.
Okay. Hey guys, it's your friendly neighborhood anarchist Shellfish. Just wanted to chime in and remind you that you have been a daily staple in my life for years. I was brought in by Ellis and his wit, stayed for Schnepp and his heroic self, and fell in love with the crew as you all formed. I'm proud to support a group of wonderful people, even though Kristian yelled at Winston when I had him give Brett a hug. But I fucking swear to God, if you don't get Ben the Eyebrows Bateman on soon, then I'm going to shit in a helmet for each of you and bury it in your backyard.
Okay.
I have powerful needs to berate him and his meager eyebrows. Not for nothing, I can't believe Harloff has never mentioned the Roddy Piper masterpiece, Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh, I have absolutely mentioned Hell Comes to Frogtown. And one of the reasons I mentioned that is because one of our wonderful producers over at Skybound, Courtney, she brought it up in a chat. And I said, you brought that movie up. That's amazing. Because even Roddy, when we did the You Reviewers speech, I got to bring that up. He did this whole speech and brought Hell Comes to Frogtown up. So we have definitely brought that up. There's no doubt about it. But I also love that you remembered the story of Richard about the helmet. Because listen, that was one of the best career moments of my my highlights. Really had to take a shit and buried it in a helmet. All right, what's the next one?
Real quick, guys, we have 1,200 people, over 1,200 people watching.
Wow.
Make sure you guys are liking the video. Always a goal to reach 500 likes, but maybe we can beat that today. Please like the video. Helps so much with the annoying
Let's
YouTube
try
analytics.
600 today. Let's try 600. Let's try.
Why not?
600 likes. You can do it.
D-Train with.
Whoa,
Sorry, I thought it was an
Dan.
auction.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, all right, Dan, you said it.
Oh boy.
No, what did you do, Dan?
What did I do?
Here we go. All right, everybody, we're at 482 right now. Need to get to 600 likes. Hey, 620 for the champ. If you like Dan Murrell, you'll get us to 620. If not, it means that you don't like Dan, and then that means you're not a good human being. All right, 620. Kate Mulligan over there, she shaved her head once, and it never grew back. That's a wig. All right, everybody, going on over 620. We're looking for a 620. Can we get to 620 or a 533? If you get to 620, RB3 will punch Brett in the head from that side over there. All right, everybody, 620. One time I ate an orange and the backside of my ass turned green. I don't know why that happened. All right, 561. Looking to get the 620. Can we get the 620? Kate Mulligan rocking out here with the guitar. 620. There she goes. 620. Can we get the 620? It's at 571. 620. If you chew on plastic and swallow it, you die. All right, everybody, going to 620. 620, looking for 620. Dan Murrell had no idea what he signed up here for today, but now he figured it out. 620, everybody. Dan Murrell back on the show tomorrow. 620. All right, everybody, let's try to get to 620. Have you ever got to 620? Me too. 420 is when you get stoned. All right, everybody, let's get on over. 620. We're at 589. 593. If you get to 620, Dan Murrell will do a dance. That's not true. All right, 620, everybody. If you get to 620, Kate Mulligan will do another silly dance upside down. All right, everybody. Oh, no. 597. Let's go. This is from Pink Sweets. Dan Murrell's never coming back on this show ever again. Very possibly true. 602. Looking for 620. Everybody. 607. Can you get 620? If not, this will be the rest of the show. All right, buddy. You got to hit 620. Originally, it was going to be 600, but Dan Murrell said 6.
Muffins donated $100.
I can't do that.
Celebration.
Did it.
It'd be sorry if I didn't give thanks to Kristen and Mark Dog Schlong Ellis for giving me a platform to spew all my honey knowledge. I know Mark is on the run, but if anyone sees him, tell him I got something for him.
Soggy, you're the man. Soggy, you're the man. We met Soggy at one of the events too. So that was we got the 625, by the way. So thank you.
It's like being in a fun house where
so yeah, dance it.
You step on something and you don't know what's happening. So it's like the Hall of Mirrors drops down, or the room starts spinning, or the this is a very interesting and unique experience.
Good, and I'm glad, and we hope to have you back again.
That's a very nice way to put it, Dan. Can you talk more about the Paramount decrees and all that?
And look, the good news about it, though, Dan, because I know you're used to, you want to have people having these big discussions, and we get those a lot, and a lot of times we don't get it in the chat because we're looking at the Streamlabs. So to be fair, and we want to change that, we don't want to just be silly on this show and inappropriate. So Senna Sen says, anyone want to fuck my booty? Real nice, Senna Sen. What do you? That's what we bring up here. Anyone?
Guys.
Anyone? Why not just Brett? Come on.
Elmo.
Elmo.
Unbelievable.
By
Senna.
the way, every time Dan has spoken and the way he can express his thoughts and how smart he is, I'm pretty sure he has a vaccine that he's not giving us.
Hey Dan, welcome to SEN. Happy birthday, Soggy. In your honor, schlong, 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 schlong. Schlong, 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 schlong. Schlong, schlong. Love you guys.
And Dan, I'm realizing I don't know if you're actually as smart as I think you are, or if it's just the dumbest show we've ever done.
Ever?
I don't know
about that. Have you watched?
It's Soggy's birthday.
I will tell you that Brett and I are insulted because all our show was for 4 months was the most ridiculous show.
Yeah, fair enough.
We shaved our heads and just consistently sang songs about nonsense.
I feel like this is like one of those really bad comedies where, you know, you bring someone home to meet the family, and then it just like completely falls apart in the wackiest way possible.
That's right.
And you're like, this wouldn't happen in real life, and it's happening right now.
Hi, everybody. We've got the movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world here, and he thought he was coming on a movie discussion show. Well, guess what, March Hare? It certainly isn't true, because today he's going to be doing a Mark Wahlberg impression to close it out, and he thought he was giving box office analysis. Ha ha! Joke's on you, champ.
I'm having a wonderful time. By the way, Mike Carlson would be on this show every day if you did that impression. For an entire show.
Welcome back. Mike Carlson's the only other person I knew that when because, you know, for Collider Live, Dan, we did it had to have been a year bit that went for a full year about Zoobly Zoo. And I think that Mike Carlson's the only other person I know besides Brett that really knew that.
We did. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say we did a weird movie fights episode that he was on, and so we asked him for their pitches. We were like, oh, what are your pitches? What are your pitches? And one of his pitches was one of his rounds was reboot a movie but cast Ed Wynn in the lead. We're like, Mike, I love it, but no one's gonna get it.
Oh, I would do that all day long. Give me one and I'll do it right now. Give me a movie that Ed Wynn is in and I'll do it right now.
RoboCop.
All right, perfect. Your move, creep! I'll tell you what, I was just trying to get home to my family and the crime is just outridden in Detroit. Hey, Clarence, come here. Clarence, oh, you shot me in the head. Wait a minute, I'm a robot now? Uh-oh, I just shot you in the balls. Oh, that guy was just burnt by acid.
Better than the 2014 one.
Yeah, that's much. Oh, that's fun. I like that. I would do that with Mike Carlson all day long. I gotta get Mike on this show so we can do it. Okay. All right, let's move.
D-Train with the next two. My question for Dan Murrell, the GOAT, is Jurassic World 3 really being filmed?
Truck thighs like what all night long. Let me see the thong. I like it when the beat goes da dun da baby. Make your booty go da dun da baby. I know you want to show da dun da that schlong schlong schlong.
True.
Donated $20. Happy birthday, Soggy. This is just for you. Schlong schlong schlongy schlong 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 schlong.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Exclamation point.
And the one that came in before was from Prince That Wasn't Promised. It just didn't.
Okay. Gotcha. Is Jurassic World 3 really being filmed during this pandemic? That movie is one of my most anticipated, and I don't want to see a movie limit itself to what they can or cannot show because of the pandemic.
Which one?
Jurassic World 3.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, according to reports, they're getting back into filming. I was just saying this the other day. Like, I'm not in favor of it because I feel like the cast of Jurassic Park should have been whisked away to a bunker. We must protect them at all costs. We can't lose any one of them. So I don't know why we're putting them all. We're throwing them all together. It's like the cabinet and the president during the State of the Union. You can't throw them all together in one place. It's too dangerous.
Are you excited? Are you excited for the third one, Dan? I know you haven't
not particularly, but I'll go see it.
Right. Is it the same type of thing though, where you're just because you're such a big fan of the premise in general in the first movie, obviously, that you're just still fingers crossed that you're just gonna get like the great one again? Like, is that kind of?
I have gone into every Transformers movie with the optimism that maybe this is the one. So yes, of course, I would love nothing more than for there to be a great Jurassic World movie, and you find a great way to reintegrate everybody, and nobody feels wasted or just kind of thrown in there. I would love that. That would be wonderful. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that's the same way I felt. I mean, and even though when you go back and we'll open up this can of worms, the sequel trilogy. And even Rogue One and like Solo, you can definitely find good movies out of a lot of them, right? But I don't think there's been a great Star Wars movie made, a great one, since Empire Strikes Back. I thought Return of the Jedi is a really good movie. I think that there are things inside of Revenge of the Sith that I think is really good. I think Rogue One is a really good Star Wars movie. I think Force Awakens is a really good Star Wars movie. We just haven't had a great Star Wars movie since Empire, and I'm still fingers crossed. I think Mandalorian is great. I think the overall story and like if you treat that as a a 9 hour film. Mm-hmm. That to me is story-wise, my favorite Star Wars stories, if I was going to go, would be Empire Strikes Back, Knights of the Old Republic, New Hope, Mandalorian, are probably my 4 favorite Star Wars stories that have been put on any kind of media. Excuse me. Anyway, so what's next there, Ben Goddard?
Okay, give me 1 second. D-Train, I want to compete in the movie trivia Schmoedown. How do I get started? If it's joining the fan leagues, how do I do that?
Well, there's a lot of different things you can do. I think that if you go to the Facebook group and put in that you're looking to join a league, I think that the quote unquote the fan leagues are trying to get away from that moniker of fan leagues. So I want to respect that. I don't know. They're just calling themselves other leagues now, even though they were started because they were fans.
Rex donated $20. Hey Kate, I was the one who finally heard that Chicago accent. Hawks lost last night, but we got 6 more games. Welcome to the show, Dan. Brett Harloff just started Ozarks. Only 4 episodes in, but that safe scene? Did someone just watch Fast 5?
It is a great show. I love that show. They're doing one final series. But anyway, as far as that question goes, try to find one of these other leagues, and try to and see if you're able to join them. And you can they'll let you know when you join into it. So, okay. Anything next?
Gingerbread. Hey Dan, tell Mauro we'd like to have her on SEN, please. Kristian, would you also consider having Chris Hartwell on as well? I was recommended his Why Speed Racer is great video, and it's so good.
Oh, it's great. Chris Hart. I mean, I don't know where he is right now. He moved. He
had a baby recently too.
Yes, he did. He's just a overall just nice human being. Chris Hartwell. I'm a really big fan of him in general. So yeah, I'd love to get Chris on because he's been on. I know that he was. Remember, I think he was in the first free for all. He was in there for like 1 round. And then he was going to compete more, and he just life got in the way. So, okay, what's next?
Justin Square, happy Wednesday. What has been your favorite pre-COVID event moment? Parasite winning big at the Oscars, Super Bowl halftime show, Dan becoming double belted. Also, if you could go to January 1st, 2020, what would you tell yourself? Don't be a fun sponge bin. Thank you.
I would say, what would I tell myself? Move to New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I obviously biased. My favorite thing was Atlanta and Brooklyn, both of those, because I always like going home, but I also like those crowds. Both those crowds were just so great. The match was hyped up. Dan and Ben, like one of the biggest fights that we had ever had, and they both delivered. They scrapped it out into sudden death. It was a great match, and it was also I live for the live events. The live events are like the things I really miss the most about Schmoedown. I'm very proud of our team on what we've been able to do in this time. Like I was talking to, I can't remember who it was last night, Frank Janish for sure, and somebody else. This is the most competitive that the league has ever been right now in the digital. The matches have been incredible. The matches themselves, but I miss doing the scenes. I miss doing the leading up to the big live events. I miss hearing that fan reaction. So I would say to me it was Atlanta and New York. But Dan, how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta particularly, just to go back and enjoy that weekend even more, because it was literally the last weekend for me of like a totally 100% normal, like, like we flew there on, and we already had to be a little bit careful because Mara was already having to worry about, but we took precautions, and we were able to fly there. I met my mom there, and like we had the match and the meet and greet, and hang out afterwards. Then we went to like my mom and Mara and I went to like World of Coke, and we went to the aquarium, and it just like there's no worrying about how close you are to somebody. There was no worrying about the limit of the people in the like. It literally was just the last weekend of any semblance of a normal everyday thing, and you take it for granted. So it would be nice to go back, to January 1st, 2020. I would actually tell myself two things. Number one, enjoy that weekend just because, that's going to be the last time for a while for a lot of things. And the other one would be start your own channel, but don't center it around movie reviews and box office. Because that was, in retrospect, very, very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you guys, Kate?
I was just gonna say I actually had something happen the other day that I guess I don't know. I think parenting during this has been, I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes. So I wish I could go back and say, be firm with them, but be less, I don't know. I don't think I've been projecting panic. He doesn't even know the name of the virus. He just knows that there's a virus and things have been
Real
shut down.
Pizza Usa donated $20. Here at Real Pizza, we're sorry to hear about the Paramount decrees. We definitely weren't responsible because we want to turn independent theaters into Romanian sala.
It's USA, just so you know, Dan is a sleeper cell.
Yes.
Russian sleeper cell. Anyway,
And this world of cocaine or whatever you talked of sounds like one too, right? What was
Yes,
the world of
cocaine,
cocaine?
yes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a.
But I was gonna say the other day we were at Descanso Gardens. I was out there with my kids, and a little girl came up. She was 5 years old, and she started talking to my kid. They had their masks on and everything, and the mom was really responsible about it. And then at some point, she when we were walking towards the exit, we were sort of hanging out with this family, and the little girl grabbed Neil's hand, and she's like, "I'm gonna hold his hand because I like him." And I could tell Neil absolutely. He thought he had done the wrong thing. He panicked. And then as soon as she was done holding his hand, he said, "Do you have hand sanitizer?" And it broke my fucking heart.
I told you, Kate, when I was at the beach and my little one went, people. And it was it's like, oh my, that's the way that these kids are living up.
I know. And I'm like, okay, so if I could go back and tell myself anything, I'd say like, just like I think I would have bought into it sooner, because I think I was I thought Kristian was joking when he told me there was something called a coronavirus. I thought he was doing one of his bits.
Yeah.
And he for that mask on the way home on the New York. I was like, we're the only people wearing a mask on a plane? And I thank you every day for that, Kristian.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I would go back and say like, find a calmer way to explain this, because I think that the paranoia and panic that we've instilled is really damaging.
We didn't understand it too, like up top. Remember when this thing started, everyone's like, shit, this can go until like, oh my God, can you imagine? This could go until May.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Now
the summer movie season could be cut in half, guys.
Yeah.
Right? And now I'm talking to my wife. She's like, yeah, we could be in this all the way until next year. I'm like, oh my God, we got to spend another year in this house. It's like, I'm not complaining about being in my place, but it's but the fact you're under a really good house arrest is what it is. You're under a really good house arrest, and it's like you have to find it's crazy.
Yeah.
Kristian, do you remember the last time I was in an office of any kind was the day we had a meeting, and it was the day that you had to be like, looks like we got to reschedule the free for all. We're gonna have to shoot it without an audience, and even then, it was this thing of just like, oh man, we're really gonna have to adjust everything to and then it just like lights turning off down a hallway, just like it all.
Everything, because I didn't know. I remember the conversations I had with a few people about, hey, I'm thinking of having an Inner Geekdom tournament. Like, nah, just wait till it comes. It'll be back soon. Don't have it. Like, I was like, well, the Inner Geekdom tournament, the winner will get points and not a whole full tournament. And then we're like, well, let's push it. We'll do exhibition matches. And then as the studio matches started to dwindle down of all the ones we taped, I'm like, we got to do something. I'm like, we have to change. Like, this whole season, like, Spectacular is now digital. Like, everything is digital. Like, and it's like, this is the digital season. Like, at one point I thought about changing because the moniker of the season is a new era, and I was like, I should probably change that. I was like, no, it's actually perfectly fitting. It has absolutely rounded out into, it's a new era. It's changed because. Yeah. Even when we're able to do studio matches again and live events, we're still now going to have A, the history of everything that happened digitally. B, we're going to put more digital matches, because we have people that aren't able to travel in that we now know that we can do digital matches for sure. We have this new speed round that we came up with. We have all these things. But before we mention the next question here, I do want to talk to Dan about this upcoming match on Friday. It's massive. It is a big title match. Last week we had our first title match. We're going to get a Schmoebot here from the... Oh, no, we're not. Okay. A big, massive title match there with Chandru and Smets. You played Ethan, Dan, back in 2018 when you played in the tournament, and you were still kind of making your way back, and you came up against this force that was Ethan Irwin, and it ended in a TKO inside of the tournament, and it was something that we'd only seen actually happen with Andrew Guy before. That 2018 season was you getting your footing again, and running into Ethan certainly wasn't the best way to do that, but then you play him in Brooklyn. You have a perfect game. You win the championship, which you have said many times it might be your favorite moment that you still have ever had. But going into this third match, now digitally, do you feel that you are at the top of your game going in against Ethan, even though you haven't played in a little bit? How do you feel?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm certainly as capable of winning as I ever have been. It's singles is not like IG, where if you stop down, then there is some loss. Like, obviously I've kept, sharp. I have been, launching the channel and everything. So it's not like my attention has been 100% on prepping and everything else.
AJ Lancaster donated $20. Dan, all respect to the GOAT, but I think we can all agree the 2 months Bateman was champ were the 2 best months of this year.
That's definitely a Bateman fan. Go ahead. Just finish what you're saying.
There's a lot more of an element, I think, of for lack of a better word, luck when it comes to singles and teams, because the base is so vast that I certainly strategize, and I've stayed up on my notes and looked for little windows to fill in that places, deficits that I need to fill in over the last several months, and then I have my process and my strategies, and I tend to sort of ramp up in the week leading up to a match, which is what I'm doing now. But there is a certain element to where I think you can get too in your own head and too worried about, oh, do I know this? Do I know this? Am I ready for this? What if this comes up? What if that comes up? There are an infinite number of possibilities of what can come up in a singles match, particularly a championship 5-round match. That there's also a certain point at which you have to say, okay, I've prepared the best that I can prepare myself. I have strategized the best that I can strategize. And, going into it, just have this mindset of the game is going to be the game. And I can look for places to take advantage of things that might happen in the game. But, you also just have to account for and be comfortable with the fact that you have to give up a degree of control, particularly in singles, because you have no idea. There are an infinite number of possibilities as to what you could be asked or what could come up. So,
well, that match. Go ahead.
Just give us the vaccine already, Dan.
Well, so listen, this match goes down this Friday, and it is going to be Ethan Irwin versus Dan Murrell in their third battle. It is, you can get tickets, theschmoedownlive.com, or if you're a patron, patreon.com/schmoedown. The $10 level right now is just firing at all different cylinders. You already would have gotten Roca versus Irwin. You would have had Chandru versus Smets, not to mention the 2 undercards that were incredible. And then the undercard for this one, Shazam versus Final Exam. And then obviously the big title match with Dan and Ethan next week. Dan's at it again, Founding Fathers, and they will be defending their titles against Corruption. That goes next week. And the undercard is Who's the Boss, with whoever wins between Shazam and Final Exam. So it's a hell of an event. But Dan, I got to ask you this question, and it won't be the last time I ask you this question. I know that you and John have made it famously clear that you don't prepare for matches outside of the one that's in front of you. However, Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy are going up against each other. If you beat Ethan Irwin on Friday, you will play either one of them. Now, would the rematch against Bateman, considering of what we saw happen between you two in February, and obviously the fact that the one guy that you never avenged, one of the guys you never avenged a loss to is Andrew Guy. And you're a much different player than you were when you faced him the first time, and it would be for the title. So do you have a preference? And wait for a second, because we're getting there's definitely a Schmoebot about to come in, unless RB3 turned him off. Did you turn him off? No, it's probably going to be coming in a second here. So just be prepared for it, but I'd like to get that answer.
Sure. Do I have a preference? I think that they both present their own advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, Ben is a very strategic player. He's a champion, former champion, and you took me to sudden death.
Brooklyn was insane. I miss the live events and sharing my love with a Schmoedown with everyone. You guys are a beacon in my life. By the way, I got some things happening pretty soon on YouTube. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Big Mo. You're one of the best fans we got, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Moaning Myrtle.
I missed the live events too.
It did silly Moaning Myrtle. Thank you, Big Mo. So, Dan, go ahead. Your answer?
So I know that I'm going to be in for a tough fight because Ben is.
John gets donated $20. Dan, I love your channel and can't wait to watch the Met commentary for your Patreon. Your videos always make me feel smarter, and you're impossible to not like. Good luck against Ethan. Been rooting for you since early movie fights days.
Thank you very much.
It's true. You are impossible to not like. I
Kyle
tried.
Bernadore donated $20. After yesterday with Chandru, he is starting to make it easier to root for Corruption's Chance Ellison.
Well, that's what Paul did last year against Snyder, right? So, I mean, he's doing it right, man. He's doing it right. Sorry, Dan. We'll get an answer.
Bateman he's a Schmoedown computer, so he's going to go back, analyze his weaknesses, and he learns. He's like Apocalypse in X-Men, learning. He's always learning.
Right.
But Andrew Guy. I think that there's a certain psychological advantage potentially because, he was the source of my biggest embarrassing moment in this entire game, easily, like not even close. So, I honestly don't know how I would respond to the prospect of not only playing him again, but with such high stakes. I think that there is a potential advantage to be gained there because, I will feel a little pressure there.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I think I'll be in a similar position. People will be expecting me to, there's nothing against Guy, but I think people will be expecting me to win that match. He'll have nothing to lose and everything to gain, and I'll have the opposite. So I don't really have a clear preference because I think it would be two completely different headspaces for me to be in playing a match like that.
Yeah. Well, once again, guys, make sure you check it out. Dan playing Ethan Irwin this Friday for the championship. Please go and check that out. And if you're not listening to this show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you sure can. All you got to do is go on over to either Apple Podcast. And the Schmoedown also available on Apple Podcasts. You just look for Schmoedown. We have Backstage is up there. The Rundown is up there. And we are very excited to say that we're going to have some more material coming out very, very soon for you guys. And we'll be able to announce that sooner than later. All right, let's get some more.
Okay. Delisha Renee. Hey, SEN crew. Hi, Dan. Hope you guys are having a great day. After a horrible experience with staff during my grandfather's funeral, I posed the question, how do you deal with unprofessionalism?
Oh, man. I mean, on this show every day. But unprofessionalism, I mean, look, you've got to be the professional. You know what I mean? You've got to be the professional, and you've got to try to maneuver whatever situation it is, and be the one that is professional.
Xog1 donated $20. This is for Dan and only Dan. Love your channel. You're the GOAT. How can one man be so humble and wholesome while packing such a massive schlong? Subject cut drip drip. Oh, hi, Brett.
See, this is what this show does to you, Dan. You think you're getting like, I mean, well, you did get a nice compliment, but you think you're getting one type of compliment, and then they hit you over the head like
with those facts.
Yeah. Right. Could you do a review of being on this show on your channel?
Yes,
please. Good. Yes.
Please do it.
Yeah. No, I think we were speaking about professionalism, though.
That's right. Speaking of professionalism, Kate, pick up that guitar because I want. You promised me you were going to jam out.
I already did jam.
You already did it to the other thing.
Well, okay,
I already did jam out. Goddammit!
You guys already did it. No, also the bass is too heavy. I got to get the other one.
All right, fine. Go get the other one. Tell me when you're
ready. The bass is so heavy.
I don't know.
They are very heavy.
All right. So while we wait for
people keep liking the video while we're waiting for Kate too. By the way,
yeah.
We are at 100. We are at 652 likes, but there's
706.
706.
700.
Let me refresh. But people keep liking it. That gets the show in front of more people, and it really helps us out.
Yeah. So all right. Well, let's get to another question. Oh, Kate's ready. Kate, are you ready? You can hear us?
Ready.
Okay, you can hear the music. All right. This is Kate. Can we put the camera just solely on Kate here? RB3. Tell me when we have that.
Oh no.
All right, we ready? RB3, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that bitch.
She's rocking out. She's crushing right now. Crushing. Look at this. You see Kate Mulligan is rocking out at it. I feel like I'm at a Comic-Con concert. Destroying. Absolutely shredding it right now. Kate Mulligan is shredding for those audio listeners. It's an absolute piece. Look out, Eddie Van Halen. Here comes Mulligan. Just crushing. Well done. I'm going to leave this song at this because I know how exhausted she's going to get. You cannot accuse her of not giving 120%. Now she's playing the keyboard on it. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you.
And anyone tells Kate, put my foot on his guitar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I got so nervous because you didn't have a strap, and you were doing this thing, and I thought you were going to drop it, and I was nervous for Dickie.
I was going to drop it.
Yeah, and for anybody who wants to, you can get that's the Den theme, and that is available on the store. And I believe that we have. Do we have the link No, we don't have the link in the description just yet.
It should be.
Is it? Yeah. Am I missing it?
MTS.
Right. Yes, you're right. You're right. It is. You're absolutely right. So it is the soundtrack you can get, and I'll post the link in the chat also, and we can and you can get the Den theme. It is available now. All right, next question. We should do some of those impressions.
Yeah, well, we got to. We got 15 minutes.
All right, cool.
Eddie314. First of all, I think Spider-Man Homefront would be a better title than Spider-Man Homesick. Second, Wednesdays are my movie nights, so in honor of the GOAT being on the show, I'd like for Dan to recommend a random movie to watch tonight if he can.
Got one, a random one?
Random movie. Well, if you have Hulu and you haven't seen it, then Palm Springs is a wonderful movie that came out this year.
Yep.
RB3's favorite.
Very much recommend that movie. And a random movie. All right, I'll recommend a random movie. Let's see. Dick Tracy.
Oh wow, Dick Tracy. I haven't seen that movie in years.
Wow.
There you go. Random movie recommendation.
Dick Tracy. I wonder if any of the Dick Tracy stuff would be in the Madonna biopic that will be coming out.
Ooh,
interesting. All right, what's next?
Matt Chapman.
$20. I have a confession to make. It's a deep dark secret I've been carrying for years. Dan Murrell, please don't be mad at me. But I was the one who snuck into your home and put that Jurassic World Blu-ray into your Blu-ray collection. Glad I got that out way.
Knew it.
You knew it. You figured it out. D-Train. Thank you, D-Train, for confessing.
Thank you for coming clean. I appreciate
thank you.
Matt Chapman. Hi, Dan. Just want to say good luck on Friday. But you're the greatest of all time, and I have zero doubt that you will emerge victorious. Also, hi, Brett.
Yep. We got to get a shirt that says hi, Brett.
Yeah. Thrawny. What are the chances of getting Sam Witwer to do a one-off match against Alex Damon?
Slim. Very slim. I've tried before, and the other thing that was always in my advantage, I would run into Sam at a bunch of events, and we would just talk for a while when we ran into each other, and that's usually how I was able to kind of get him to come back in. Those opportunities have been cut. He's very aloof. Mr. Whitwer is he's a very nice guy, but he's very aloof. So it's hard to and plus the fact he said it on his stream. He didn't know the
donated $20. Damn, the Schmoebot said my name right, which makes it better than 90 of telemarketers. Dan, you got anything in mind for your next anime film? Love that series so far. Would you consider getting into an anime series at the suggestion of your patrons?
Well, I did. I've been doing these anime videos on my channel because I didn't know much about anime. But they, sadly, I have one filmed already for Castle in the Sky, with Studio Ghibli, and then I was gonna jump into, I think it was Your Name next, but the videos haven't been doing great. And I've got a bunch of other things. I'm ramping up on reviews right now, and obviously I've been traveling and then prepping for this. So Castle in the Sky has been filmed, but I'm kind of reevaluating like how often and when I put those videos out, because I certainly enjoy doing them, and I'm definitely going to stay, I think, watching anime because I'm enjoying it so far. But I think it may be a little bit longer between anime videos right now. For patrons, though, yeah, I'm actually looking at a lot of different things to kind of add and change on Patreon, as far as like, oh, this benefit or that benefit, that I haven't been doing, and so that's a very distinct possibility. Yeah.
All right. Well, and once again, guys, make sure you check out Dan Murrell. Dan Murrell, is it Dan Murrell's movies or Dan Murrell movies?
Dan Murrell movies.
No S. Dan Murrell movies. I usually just put Murrell in there and it comes up anyway. But just do Dan Murrell movies, and you can check it out and subscribe to his channel today. Let's do some of these impressions. Dan or Ben, you got one of the ones that we have?
First one we got up right now. Marky Mark complaining about plants taking over the planet.
Yeah, I'll give you some music here too. Okay, Dan, whenever you're ready.
This is great because my Mark Wahlberg impression is entirely based on his performance in The Happening. So it's great. All right. Hey, can we take a minute to talk about what's going on here? I mean, look! You look out the window. There's nothing but trees. There's nothing but wind blowing. You got wind blowing grass. We're stuck in our houses. That's all we do. We sit in our houses and we watch the wind blow. Like, what's going on out there? I had an elm tree. I had an elm tree in my front yard. The next day I looked up, it was gone. They're walking around like Lord of the Rings. I don't understand what's happening out there. What? No. I always end up with what? No.
because of the hot dogs, right? What?
No, it's the old lady that he meets. She's like, I hear you planning to murder me in my sleep.
Oh yeah.
No, ma'am, we're not. And then it just goes, what? No.
That movie
is my favorite line.
That movie, it's a riot. It's a riot. It really. I remember seeing that movie in the theater and just like crying. The lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really it is an underrated comedy.
The lion is my favorite.
I have the lion and I have this series on my channel called Why I Love, and the first two were Jaws and RoboCop because those are two great movies, but the next one is going to be The Happening because I love that movie because it is so terrible.
It's really terrible. Terrible in a great way. In a great way. All right, what's the other impression?
Arnold convincing Russian Ben to be in Last Action Hero while indignant white man chimes in as well.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, Russian Ben, I have a little bit of an offer for you. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening. But you are a big American hero, and I'm spying on you now.
Don't worry about it. I was born in Austria, not really American. So listen, I wanted to tell you something. We're gonna do Last Action Hero. We're going to do the reboot. Everyone's doing it. Fresh Prince is doing it. That was in the show notes today, but we did not.
I love Last Action Hero. It stars Vladimir Putin. Like he is Last Action Hero. He's so lovely.
Now, just because you're in the horse with the shirt off, you're not an action hero. It's fine. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You'll be great in it. And who are you? Why are you here?
Well, I'm really. I also too like my own Last Action Hero, but with my own kind of spin on the interpretation. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, I like the Russian thing. It's an angle, but why can't we just get a nice, cool, cold American in the part. I mean, come on, guys. Honestly, I mean, what's going on?
Hey, fuck you.
We got an Austrian guy here, a Russian guy here. I mean, come on. Man.
Stop it. Once you go and tweet about it, I'm sure that's what you want to do. You get your followers there. You be a big keyboard warrior.
Oh, Russian? You talking about Twitters? I have many, and they tweet quite a bit.
Well, you know, Mr. Russian here took our election. I mean, I just don't know. Is it a piece of USA? I mean, I like my pizza from Italia, honestly, you know.
Honestly, and think the white man, I think you benefited from my taking the election. I'll just say that.
Okay, listen, I'm sure. What are you going to tell me next? That you figured out the COVID vaccine before everyone else? Oh, wait, you did. This is I saw it on the news last night. Okay, let's move on because we have another impression that Dan Murrell for his last appearance ever on SEN Live.
Yes. All right, the final one, which I'm really, really looking forward to, is Elmo talking to Mark Wahlberg about the plandemic and why masks don't work.
All right, Elmo. Who's on
what side here?
So I think that Mark Wahlberg should be on the side of having the mask because this version of Elmo is everything that he's just not a good thing.
Yeah, almost not on the right side of history.
That's right. Let's see if I have any music for. I got rid of that children's one because I didn't have enough. Let's see. We'll try. Here, you know, we'll put a little Irish music on. How about that?
Hello, hello, Mike Wahlberg. Welcome to my new Irish show. So you're an actor, and is that fun being an actor?
Yeah, you know what, Elmo? It's a lot of great fun. We get to go on sets. We get to pretend to be things that we're not. But I want to talk to you about something. I see you running around. You don't have your mask on. Don't you know it's for your safety? It's for everyone else's safety. We got to make sure that everyone stays healthy.
Oh, I see you've drank the Kool-Aid of all the sheeple yourself there, Mark Wahlberg. But if you knew that the masks are all part of the pandemic, then maybe you wouldn't be so scared shitless.
Listen, Elmo, I know maybe you got a lot of friends that are coming up to you. Maybe it's Bert. Maybe it's Abby Cadabby. I know there's a lot of misinformation running around right now. But you got to listen to the officials. You got to listen to the doctors. They're nice people. You meet them on the street. You say, hey, hello there, Mr. Doctor. He's looking out for you. All he wants is the best for you.
How dare you bring Abby Cadabby into this?
Oh, Dan made Brett break.
Dan.
That was good.
Mark Wahlberg, I gotta tell you, this is people when you're not on the show, people are gonna keep requesting that you do a Mark Wahlberg.
They do.
How dare you come in here and do an actual good impression?
Impression.
After so many years at Screen Junkies, it's great to be back in a room where my tired shtick works with an all new audience.
All right, let's get to a couple more and then we got to get out of here.
Okay. Dagan, hey crew, question for Dan, who is one player in the Schmoedown you've never played that you would love to compete against, or anyone in the singles tournament you have your eye on if you successfully defend against Erwin. Hi, Brett.
Hello.
Ooh, that's
John
a good
gets
question.
donated $20. So now that Scott Mance, Roca, and Dan all have their own YouTubes, maybe there could be an epic crossover for something Star Trek related.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
My friend.
So Dan,
John Roca. We're gonna talk Star Wars. It's gonna be great. Oh, I love Scott Mann.
Yes.
Scott Mann is one of my favorite people in this world.
He's the best.
Yes. And there he is. There he is. Yes. Star Trek right now. Me, Dan Murrell, John. Yes. Sign up. La La Land.
All right, next.
I wish I could bottle whatever Scott Mance is able to. If the world could run on Scott Mance's energy and enthusiasm, the world would be a better place.
I want to take a camera into when we're allowed to do screenings again. I want to take a camera into when he shows up into the room because it is just a bunch of before he enters. It's just everybody's going, and then this burst of cocaine enters the room, and he's just like.
Yes, there he is. Yes, there she is. Yes.
And he's like, and the room just wakes up, and he goes from he just doesn't. He runs around the theater up until the last second the movie's about to start.
Runs to his seat.
Yeah, have you ever been in a screening with him where he takes a piss break and he never comes back?
No.
I've been at least 3 screenings with him where that has happened, where he's just
it was terrible.
Well, but it's funny with him because like he'll talk to every single person he knows, like in the theater, like
easily.
Everybody, like
easily.
I miss the good old Mance hug at a screening.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Oh,
it
it's
works
the
the room
best.
like nobody's business.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of current players that I haven't played that I'd like to play, like one-on-one. Janine.
What about all time? Cushing?
I mean, yeah, obviously Rachel would be great to face one-on-one. Yeah.
All right.
The other part of the question was who in the singles tournament, assuming that you.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you want to face?
I mean, there's so many unknowns. Like, I feel like with a lot of the new players, they're in the play. A lot of them are in the play-in games, so people kind of write them off. But I think that the last couple years has shown us anything. It's that these people that are in the fan leagues or whatever you want to call them, the farm teams, can come in and take over the whole league. We've seen it with Oyama. We've seen it with Chance. Chandru wasn't in a fan league, but was he in a fan league before?
No, he was not.
He was, but we have seen so many people come in from the fan leagues and rise very quickly to championship level. So
Yep.
I'm curious about those X factors, the ones we don't know anything about.
I think we did have one more impression. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think
Sure,
we did
sure.
have one more impression from Super Chat. That was, something about Evil Mickey telling
well, the Evil Mickey, we don't know what that Evil Mickey
I
is.
don't know what that is, yeah. So.
Evil Mickey telling what? Well, let's save that one. Is it Mark Wahlberg or what was it?
It's Michael B. Jordan, so we can save it for another day.
Let's save it for tomorrow because I don't know what I don't even know who Evil Mickey would be. So is that it? Were there any other?
That was the only one.
That was all the impressions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Evil Mickey from Rocky? Is that what it is? Is
I
it
have-
not Mickey Mouse?
I don't know.
Can't do it, Rock. You're nothing. You're crap. You're scum.
There you go.
You won't do it. Get out of here. What's the next one?
Matthew Z. Reed, I've been calling my friend out on their racist, sexist, xenophobic microaggression, mostly men, and the result has been the ending of a lot of friendships. Tried to approach it as a conversation, but seems to turn into arguments. Any advice?
F them.
Yeah.
F them. They don't need to be your friends. You don't
Yeah.
need racist as friends.
Agreed.
You say if they can't even have a conversation about it, that means like they know that it's wrong and they don't want to kind of face up to it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. People don't get defensive about stuff that they don't know that they're guilty of.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the next one.
PLD, Dan automatically makes any crew better. Salute to Kristian, RB3,
Truly.
Brett, Kate, and Ben. Schmoebaits tonight featuring Ben Bateman and Andrew DiMolanta and special ghost judge. Then chill on Monday. We'll have Andres Gallego.
Wow.
Hey, who is this ghost judge?
Don't ask Kate.
Sure.
I was gonna say, Dan, what do you feel about Force Ghosts? You want to see a movie with them?
I like many characters that are now Force Ghosts.
Thank you.
You could make a good Force Ghost movie.
Thank
Yay,
you
see?
from the mouth of Dan Murrell. Suddenly, I have some sort of a credence now here.
A Terrence Malick Force Ghost movie. I think that's a sell. That's a sell.
Oh my god.
Okay, or
That's 4
a
hours right
Judd
there.
Apatow Force Ghost movie. You know what I'm saying? Take one of those directions.
Francisco Ramirez. Hey guys, what's your favorite blockbuster memory? I remember going with my dad, renting the Indiana Jones trilogy, and was so excited to watch them with me. Also, Dan, when can we expect the next Dan Explores anime? Oh, well, just that. So favorite blockbuster memory, y'all.
I used to go to the Blockbuster. My dad lived. Well, there were a couple of different ones, but my dad lived right near one in Seminole, Florida, that I used to go to all the time when I would come home from college, and I would just go there and rent movies. So that's just kind of that was a fun one. Just being around there, and also, I mean, there's a lot of other memories, but that's one of the main ones.
When you would wait in line to get the video, there would always be like candy and like the buckets of popcorn and stuff, and I was never allowed to get those. So it's not my favorite memory, but I remember being like, I want that bucket of pop. Can we get that bucket? My mom's like, we have popcorn at home.
Yep.
The best is when you'd go on a Friday night to rent a brand new movie that just came out on VHS and it was out on the shelf, but you'd walk up to the counter and you'd be like, hey, is there anything in the return box? And they'd look and it would be there, baby. You'd get the last copy of The Matrix.
I also remember that board. They'd have that board there. That was like, because there's no internet. You couldn't look up when a movie was coming out. So every week you go in and you look at that board. It's like coming soon, and you're like, when is Back to the Future 3 coming out on video? And you'd be like, oh, May 14th. So you that's when you would know that a new movie was coming out.
Also, if it was really May 14th, I'm going to be really disgusted.
No, I'm not.
So many.
Yeah. All right. Is that everything?
No, there's definitely more. Head over to Super Chat real quick. We got quite a few of those as well.
Dan, how much longer do we have before?
We're fine.
Okay.
All right, Josh Domash. Well, Eric Davis with the $20 Super Chat, just supporting. Thank you so much. Josh Domash with the Schmoebot from Super Chat. Chance Cobra's Commanders. Hey, Dan, corruption will take the team belt. Anyways, whatever happened to movie fights?
That's a double.
Right? Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's the way to answer.
I'm not there now currently, so I can't speak to movie fights right now. Obviously, it's a bit of a difficult show to do. You'd have to structure it kind of like this, because it's a very much in-person show. But yeah, movie fights week to week was very tough to produce, just because we were juggling a lot of stuff when I was there. And so we decided to cut down on doing them. I love the show, but yeah, I can only speak to our thought while we were there, which is that we kind of wanted to eventize it a little bit more and make sure that we could book the show up, get some great guests, some great questions. I can't speak to the thought after I left, but I can only imagine how difficult it is just to produce the existing programming without adding in a show that's more difficult to pull off, more guests, zooming and the setup, the infrastructure behind that. So yeah, I don't know, but I would always be welcome or be more than willing to come and do the show because I love that show. It's a great show.
F. James with the Schmoebot. Breed X. Finally, The Rock has come back, laying down the smack on you monkey crab candy coated axe. Method Man.
Nice.
F. James. Dan has done a Mickey Mouse before, but he also does a tired Harrison Ford. So if you could do that. So yeah, that F. James was the evil Mickey. Telling Michael B. So we'll do tired Harrison Ford.
Telling Michael B. Jordan what?
He will not be in Star Wars.
Okay. Can tired Harrison Ford then break the news to Michael B. Jordan that he's not going to be in Star Wars?
It's weird because Harrison Ford, I do very specific. I don't really know if it's tired Harrison Ford. It's more of like a persona thing. It's just listen, kid. I got asked if you're gonna be in Star Wars. If they ask you, say no. My thing has always been more I do pointy Harrison.
Yeah, that's good.
They were always talking about somebody said what's the Air Force Swan, and so I was just
I
came home, there was a swan in my house. It had an orange beak. It pecked my wife. It pecked my family. That's the more Harrison Ford.
I like that.
It's not even really that good. It's more it's the aura more than the actual impression.
Well, how about Michael B. Jordan? How would he respond to this?
Well, hey, Harrison, I know you were in some of those movies, but I'm an actor too, man. I was in Creed. I'm acting all the time. I was in Black Panther. Come on, man. I can't be in Star Wars.
I love that. I did love the pointing though. All right, let's try to figure.
Tom Highwind. Here's a weird one. Would you rather have Tom Arnold starring in Star Wars film or Pauly Shore starring in Star Wars film?
Tom Arnold, 100%. 100%. Tom Arnold. Because Tom Arnold could pop up in a cantina scene or something and be like, "Oh, no problem, buddy." And then that was Tom Arnold. Pauly Shore, they put Pauly Shore in Star Wars. It's just
Pauly Shore's Salacious Crumb. There it is.
It shows up. Yeah, no thanks.
What do we got next? Tom Highwind. Big Mo's movie review with the Schmoebot. Tom Highwind again. Just because I love Brett, he's on my back right now from the hoodie from the zany days. # more Brett.
Yeah.
Oh.
Always.
Okay, so let me find my place back on Streamlabs.
I didn't know you could have more Brett after he was the only one that was survived the cuts
from
March through July.
Yep.
It's all right. I'm fine.
You're back now. Is that it?
No. I'm just finding my place back.
It's like,
here.
no, I'm just waiting for Kate's face to fix itself.
I bought my first DVD player at Blockbuster as part of a deal. Then you got like 20 rentals for free or whatever, and so that's my Blockbuster story.
Was it when they were like $300?
Yeah. So it was something where you would get the rentals was kind of supplemented for the DVD player. It was a shit DVD player. Crept out after a year.
I got it. Okay.
There we go.
Hitman Hudson. I'm re-asking this for Dan. The year is 2049. Deuce and RB4 host the meaning of. Dan, the old man Murrell, is playing the inglorious son, Sam Levine Jr., for the singles belt. Who you got? Also, Networks makes the Godfather look like Daddy's Home too. Wow.
So I'm playing Sam's son?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, but you never look. Let me answer this for Dan's never going to bet against himself.
Yeah.
So even old man Dan is still going to probably be pretty damn good. But the thing is,
are you kidding me? I'm going to have 50 years of knowledge on that kid.
That's right. That's right. But Dan Murrell would have retired probably a couple, like 2 or 3 times since then, and was on his return. As where John Roca has still not retired and is 137 years old playing at the same time. All right.
Sammy K95. SEN crew. There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and New Mutants delays. I just can't see this movie actually being released in theaters in 16 days. Then again, I feel the same way about Tenet, so I guess we'll see. Loving the show today, guys.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a good. It's been a lot of fun for sure. Thank you. And to Tenet. I mean, Tenet is still one of those movies that will always be remembered for all this shit gone down in the pandemic. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Blockbuster Motel. Do you think Doug Liman's Chaos Walking, starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley, should go to VOD? That movie was filmed at the same time as New Mutants. Wow, I didn't know it was that old.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for this movie. I don't care how bad or good it is. I always talk about how much I love Doug Liman movies, especially when they have trouble productions. They always come out better. And Charlie Kaufman even did a rewrite of this movie, and he's one of my favorite writers. So I'm excited for it.
Awesome.
Boom. Anthony Colston. Oh, damn, the GOAT is in the building. Dan, I have been following you since your first debut on Movie Fights. I'm so glad to see you finally on SEN. Keep up the great works. Charts with Dan is one of my favorite shows.
Right.
Yep. Check out, once again, guys, before we get out of here today, youtube.com/Dan Movie Reviews.
Dan Murrell movies.
Why do I keep saying this wrong? Sorry, Dan Murrell.
I should have picked a better name.
No, it's not. It's pretty easy. It's my head's still fried. So it's Dan Murrell movie. That's Dan Murrell movie reviews. Go check Dan Murrell movies. Go check it out.
Saint Pussy Lips, the hair lips. Damn, it feels like a pillow. Confused Ben. Sabrina told me she was dropping off her cat for me to cat sit. I was so surprised when she showed up with an actual cat.
Oh, all right.
No, it wasn't. Lola, it's amazing. Pac-Man Dwain. Hey guys, hey champ. I got a personal question for y'all today. What was y'all worst date you've ever been? And I want the answer. I want everyone to answer. So Brett, don't go take a pee break this time. Follow-up question for the champ. What other hobbies you like?
All right, let's make this the last one. Then we'll have to come back to tomorrow.
Worst date.
As far as worst date goes, it's not very exciting. I guess one of the things, it's not a worst date. So I'm going to give you a worst date moment, because worst date, I just remember I thought about this recently. I went on a date. She was very, very attractive girl, but it was like there was just nothing there between the two of us at all. And it was just a boring, dull conversation. The food was shitty, and it was just that. So that's a boring conversation in general just to have about that date, because nothing really happened. The one thing that I will say is I remember in college, I had asked this girl out, who I thought was way out of my league. She said yes. I was very excited to go out with this girl. And then I go to pick her up, and I step in shit right before I pick her up. Big thing of dog shit. So I remember where she lived up in this thing, and I'm kicking my boot, my shoe against like everything to scrape it off, and I'm in the grass moving stuff around, trying to and hoping, because I knew I have to be in a car with this girl soon, that I get every bit off, and I'm just like trying to find ways to get it off, and I'm slapping it against the side of the building and everything. And I'm worried if I got it on my hands, so I didn't, thank God. And then I'm in my car, and first thing I do when I get in the car is I roll the windows down just in case. And I had gotten it off, and she didn't. She noticed. She didn't tell me anything about it, but that was pretty bad.
I got screamed at a bar for not liking the Kardashians.
Oh.
Ooh, that wasn't a match for you, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
No, we're still going out.
I had a girlfriend at the time break down crying very loudly in Jerry's Deli because there was an episode of some old show. It could have been like Charles in Charge, and I said, "Oh, I always thought she was cute," and she just burst out crying because I thought an actress that I would never meet was attractive. Yeah. So that was an insecure thing that we.
Wow. Oof. Dan.
The one that comes to mind, I guess it's. I mean, it was kind of a date, but I was my best friend and I when we were in 10th grade, we asked these two girls to go to the homecoming dance with us that didn't go to our school, but they were like, number one, they were a year older. Number two, they went to a different school, so we thought we were hot as shit. And they obviously were using us as a front because they showed up to the dance, they took pictures, they stayed for 5 minutes, and they ditched us. And they were all right. So we had to call his mom to come pick us up.
That's not fun.
Yeah, that wasn't too much fun.
Yeah,
but whatever.
All right,
RB.
I don't want to.
He has ears in the house. He can't.
Oh. All right, fair. That's fair.
I thought I was gonna. There was a man when I first moved out to LA. There's a man that I dated the whole first year, and like actually it was Ike Barinholtz was one of his best friends. Said to him, "I will. I'll make you guys a dinner for." He made us like a whatever dinner, but we broke up before it happened. But this guy still took me to this thing, and I thought, you know what? I think it's gonna work out. I think like this is the night I remind him how much he misses me. And whatever it like, and Ike was so sweet about it, but we went over to his house and he made like a 9-course meal with like, and he's like, he said he used like, whatever it was unbelievable. But at some point I was like, oh, definitely gonna shit my pants. Like I literally went into a bathroom and as I started pulling down my pants, realized, nope, it's actually, I'm gonna vomit, and I projectile vomited.
Oh no.
Into my own pants and smeared the like all.
I gave you. No way. You exorcised it.
I exorcised, and then I ended up in the sink, throwing up in the sink, which was clogged.
Oh no.
And then had vomit in my own pants.
No, you win.
And then called to them. I was like, Ike's girlfriend came to check on me eventually, and I felt so betrayed by my body. And I think it's his wife now, but she was like, "Are you okay, honey?" And I was like, "Can I have paper towels?" She's like, "Oh, we don't have any. We just ran out today. I'll bring you some napkins." And she brought me like little black cocktail napkins, and I was like, "There's not." I was like, "There's the way." I mean, it was the worst, and I was like, "This is the nail in the coffin."
Oh no!
Never. And it was like back when I would wear like leggings with a skirt to be cute. So I had to take my leggings off and throw them out.
Do you know how I realized that in my head somewhere that there was just as what I should be reacting to this is, oh, really? That's terrible for you. But somewhere in my head was a producer chip saying, we have to figure out how to get Ike on this show to have a conversation. Oh my God.
The problem is, I feel like, we could probably get Ike.
I would love that. All right, listen, that is the show here for today. So I would like to
way to bring us out, Kate.
Yes, correct. Now listen,
how bad do we all feel for me?
I thought it was a great story.
I feel horrible.
Yeah, if we didn't get to your question today, we will get to it tomorrow. Promise. I would like to thank the champ for being on the show here today, and that is the Movie Trivia Schmoedown singles champ and teams champion Dan Murrell. Please check him out at Dan Murrell Movies. That's right, YouTube. Go to Dan Murrell Movies. Go check that out, and he will be facing Ethan Irwin this Friday for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship. TheSchmoedownLive.com. You can get tickets or join Patreon at the $10 tier, patreon.com/Schmoedown. Thanks to RB3. Thanks to Ben Goddard, Kate Mulligan, Brett Sheridan, the whole damn crew. Would love to have Dan Murrell back on the show, and we will talk to him about that if he didn't get scared away today. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you very, very soon. Peace out, Mother F's.
Eight.
Bye.